Futures pretty flat here this morning as we get going on a Wednesday morning, coming off back-to-back tech-led rallies for stocks. We'll have a look at semiconductors coming up once again to see if we can't get a third day in a row back to the upside for not only the NASDAQ, but semis have led the way right across the board. Fake tweets. All about fake tweets for Bitcoin. After the close yesterday, the SEC Twitter account hacked. ETFs were approved for 15 minutes or so before Gary Gensler came out immediately and said that's not the case and this was just a hack. So Bitcoin up and then right back down once again. The deadline, however, for a decision is today from the SEC. We'll see if anything more comes of this. Lots of action in the equities, obviously associated with cryptocurrencies across the board. We'll touch on that coming up. We'll have a look at Boeing once again, the CEO coming out after the close yesterday talking about this door problem that they continue to have. Boeing back to the upside ever so slightly here this morning. Not a lot of volume, but not a good look here for Boeing continuing. It's Wednesday, January 10th, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, all eyes on crypto once again today. That is the chart of Bitcoin currently, 46,124 holding right now. Ton of volatility, ton of volume over the past few days here. If you missed it after the close yesterday, again, the SEC Twitter account suggesting that these spot Bitcoin ETFs had been approved. About 10, 15 minutes later, they came out and said not the case, that this was the case of a hack, and somebody posted this fake tweet that, by the way, stayed posted for about a half an hour after the fact. So there was a lot of confusion in the first little while anyways when this came out. But today is the day that we're expecting some sort of decision to be made. If you remember going back 2 days ago, we had Valkyrie coming out saying that they were expecting approval after the close today, Wednesday. And then the possibility to start trading for their ETF Thursday at the open. So the saga continues here with these crypto ETFs. Meanwhile, oil, I was noticing making a little bit of a move back downside this morning. It was positive to start, but energy names have been pretty volatile the past couple of days. Big move down, big move back up. We're kind of chopping around inside the range. Lots to talk about as far as strength is concerned as well. Semiconductors, what a couple of days here. What a couple of days for the NASDAQ in general, back higher. Coming on the back of strength in semis with CES continuing not only today but throughout the week. We'll see if things continue, guys, for a third day in a row. Happy Wednesday.
Yes, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. But, well, we know one person that's not happy. I don't know who they are, but whomever is in charge of that account, probably not having the best of days. But I bet you a lot of people engage their two-factor authentication on an account or two overnight if they bother to do so. And oddly enough, I'm just going to get this one out of the way. Like, the second that happened, I immediately knew what I wanted to talk about at noon. So when I come on the midday, I'm going to talk about something with regards to risk management, regardless of the topic. It's like how to trade. It just immediately gave my thoughts when I didn't see if it's true, if it's actually true that they didn't have two-factor authentication on. But it's going to be impossible to avoid this move. The timing of it was at the most believable moment because people have been expecting that. Obviously, the deadline is today for the Bitcoin ETF decisions, but ever since last Friday, there's been speculation that you could always have an early announcement before. So there were people with their ear to the ground for that. I think it's interesting to already see Coinbase down 3% when Bitcoin, as Brendan just showed, hasn't really moved. So you almost have to be alert. It's already, look, you've already sold off precipitously from the top, but it's got this nice 144 bottom, which I think we can test. Better even exemplified here when you look at a 15-minute chart. So you know you're going to be back there. TSM had decent numbers. They beat expectations, so that's better than what Samsung was giving us yesterday. So some of the chips looking relatively strong, although Micron was a dog yesterday, and I kind of feel the same way about it again today. Plenty to watch, and we might even get a Neo $7 on it as that one's headed to the downside. So my alert's on for that stock as well. There's going to be a lot to get into. Just remember, and keep your ear to the ground, but when you see price action, sometimes it's best to confirm the news. There's nothing you can do about that one last night, but I think it was a cautionary tale.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it affected many people. I mean, the market wasn't open. Bitcoin just retraced right back to it. I think it's a nothing burger. Look at this today. These are all the ETFs that are going to get approved today. And these are all the symbols. So go over to my Twitter account and you'll find it. I've retweeted all of this from Gergavan. These are all of the symbols. They'll all get approved today. I like this ARC B1 as well. And they all have, we talked about this, I think it was that Valkyrie one that was 1.5%. All the rest of these are like 0.3, 0.4, 0.5%. So they're all pretty generic on that front. So, oh, here are the fees right here. Okay, so let's just do this right here. Here we go. So let's just zoom in and I'll give this to you. Again, go over at TraderTV, Sean. I have it all right there. Grayscale, Valkyrie, there it is. So it was Grayscale, sorry, it was the 1.5. 0.8, point blah, 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 blah. And then there you go. So Van Eck, I mean, you know, some of these biggest managers in the world here. ARC is there as well. BlackRock, I mean, hello. 0.3%, so relatively cheap there. Feel like that's much more reasonable in order to manage a Bitcoin ETF. So we'll see. But yep, today I believe that they will all get approved, and you're going to see at least this number right here coming through. I'm actually just going to tweet this out right here because it's kind of caught in my feed. So yeah, it's going to be a great day, man. The sticky notes out. We're ready to rock and roll. What a great start to the year. You're now rocking with the best of us right here at Trader TV Live.
Significantly higher there for Grayscale than everything else across the board. I was keeping my eye on DraftKings here as well, announcing plans to open a sportsbook in Vermont. So on January 11th, it looks like. So coming up for DKNG, it didn't really move on that. This one, however, is moving a little bit, down 6.7%. Just made a session low here, back to the upside right now. But apparently a large block trade being shopped this morning. I think it was Bank of America. I'll check on that, but maybe Citigroup. Shopping a big, large block trade on Chewy, guys. This was one of the ones we were talking about at the end of the year that had that huge run up to 25. Has come off since then, but Chewy downside in a pretty good way.
Yeah, this will be on watch because it's already down 7%. And look, obviously, when you're going to say you're shopping a big block and signal to the market that you're looking for a big sell, there's those that will get out in front of it. It's got a 16% short float, and there's a bit of a flat bottom break going on as well. So this was, I suppose, going to be in pressure underneath the $20 level anyways. If you look at what's been happening to the stock, it's pretty bad timing. You were actually in the verge of what might have been making a higher low off of this 20 level off the 50 period, and it could have been stair-stepping up. But underneath, it's probably got room to 17.5. It's only down 7% now. I'm just glancing, like short sell restricted, it'll hit that 10%, about $19, just a little bit above the $19 level. So I think if it gets down there, that's where I would start looking for the SSR bounce. And we saw one on CGC yesterday, which CGC had an offering, and then they caught a bottom. It was down just a little bit more than the 10% mark. It ends up holding not just the pre-split price, but pretty much right on that 440 level, and then got a nice little bounce in there. And if you take that bounce, you're never going to get it perfect, but you get a 30-cent bounce on a stock like that when it's holding the 40 level. You can probably try to find a way to risk 5 cents in a trade like that. So that's what I would look for on Chewy, not necessarily trying to find a spot to join the shorts at the bottom. But I just be patient. Like we have other names we like to look at, but I know when this hits SSR, that 10% down, I'd look for the bid, and that 19 level is where it would start.
All right. I'm just tweeting out this for you guys for all of that. Yeah, I haven't had time to look at Chewy today, but yeah, that name, again, a big one. All of us love our pets. I feel like if you don't have one, go get one. They're fantastic, and use Chewy. But I mean, Chewy, again, being eat up by Amazon and DoorDash. I mean, we obviously love our pets and have 3 of them, and it's just like I would choose Chewy. It's so easy. We have Pet Value or Pet Smart right by our house there that has all the products, and they ship free with DoorDash and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, I don't know enough about the business, but I just think it's a pretty competitive one there. So no surprise that it was a big darling. Yeah, Neil has it up. It was a big darling during COVID, and I owned shares during that time, and right now it's not the greatest environment for anybody competing with Amazon or online shopping.
I was just reading a little bit more on this. 2045 to 2085. We're obviously below that, but up here, So 2045 to 2085 apparently is the range. It's Morgan Stanley, by the way. I said Citigroup, but Morgan Stanley, the one offering these shares today, top end of the range for Chewy. So we'll keep an eye on that. Speaking of Amazon, Sean, there was I mean, there's a couple of positive notes suggesting Amazon and CRM teaming up for pay with Prime through CRM as well, Salesforce. There's also this note on Twitch this morning, 35% of the workforce getting laid off at Twitch, which equates to about 500 employees. Another one that's had 3 days now back higher.
You are 1,000% right about Amazon. I mean, it is now on. Let's go. It's on the sticky note. The first look at sticky note right here today. We got it at 151 long. So I like the new catalyst with Salesforce. And I got it from the watch list. Make sure you check it out, watchlist.tradertv.live. Yeah. Let's get some buying options on that platform. Buy dips all day long, watching out for the 153 break. You can go find a few other ideas there on the sticky note as well. And thank you for continuously supporting it. The amount of followers is really starting to take off here. So I really want to thank everybody for that. Here's 151. I think it's a catalyst. We like to trade catalysts. It's up more than the market today. We've got a great level right there of 151. We're going to be all over that one. I like Amazon to break through some of these levels. And why 153? Well, I mean, 153 was kind of this little bottom right here. And I just thought that if you can get back, what day is this? This is the beginning of the year. So January 2nd, I think was the first trading day. You know, that was the top. And then we made it all the way down to 144 and what was a disastrous first week. But look at how good that 144 was. Geez. I mean, sometimes, like I said, man, trading is easy. No, it's not easy. But look at that level. That's huge. So we'll look at the same kind of a top side level. I don't think it's good enough news to break 156, but 156 probably gets broken tomorrow. So in order to get there, we got to break through some of these other levels. I'm looking at 151 for some support. I really like Amazon here. This is, again, another top holding in my portfolio, another one that I will be holding, not trading. I'm not trimming any of the tech positions that I have now. We've already talked about the dip that I expect to happen at the end of January, maybe into February. At that point, I'll be buying more. I've already raised enough cash. I've got cash sitting on the sidelines, and Amazon's one of those names. Let's go.
Yeah, Amazon, absolute beast. Yeah, but there were a lot of beasts yesterday in terms of the market moving up, but Amazon was certainly one of them. And as Brendan said, it's like 2 days in a row now. Amazon's on my note as well. Mostly, I knew it was going to be there yesterday. It was my best trade yesterday for the long side, and I can give you like the reason. Like, why did I like Amazon long? I mean, come on, look what it did the day before. You had made that bottom. We talked about the 50-period moving average bounce on Amazon a few days ago and how it was bouncing off those levels, and that's where we look for a pullback into for a lot of these. The 50-period, the 200-period. We'll talk about that with regards to Tesla. Tesla bouncing into the 200-period moving average as well and making a turn yesterday. So Amazon had already made that curl. Now, I called the catalyst a small one. I don't think it's necessarily gigantic. It certainly does help to have a catalyst. It was a break off of this level at 148.50. And it was a dip first. It was a dip 2 days ago. It was a dip into a rip and then took it out. My distinction is in my note I have 150.75. It's just the bottom of this range. So we closed at 151.37. So we closed above 151. You got 151 here as your round number. And then I have the 75 level. To me, that's just the area under which I do not want to be fighting longs. Right? Like, I like the dip buy in Amazon, but I don't want to get stubborn about it. I liked the dip buy yesterday in a lot of names. I mean, there were a host of names that's what we were looking for, but one of them was actually Unity. And if you go back, like Unity, it came in, gave the dip actually in the pre-market, one little bounce off that level, that singular green candle, and then flush. So took the shot at it when it pulled back into our zone, and it just never went. So you're out of it right away. Amazon, when you took that dip buy, it then gave you a breakout and then continuation higher above 150, and you know how it goes. So it's about following the trend. I think separately I was probably long four times in Amazon. Ideally, if we get to 155, which I'd short, if we get up to 155, I think there should be multiple longs going into that, starting with the dip buy.
All right, couple things. I was just reading about this TaylorMade Tiger Woods thing. There's a few other people who were talking about this morning, but it was the Daily Mail over in the UK that was first to report it. Apparently, Tiger Woods set to announce a clothing deal with TaylorMade as well. He was already using the clubs, so makes sense now that he's not with Nike anymore. So unfortunately not publicly traded, so we can't look at TaylorMade stock, but a little bit more details it looks like coming out on a possible deal between TaylorMade and Tiger Woods. I wanted to mention this as well, not a group that we talk about or look at, not really day trading type stocks, but it's worth noting KB Home's set to report after the close tonight, KBH in New York. I was reading a note about this one as well, Lennar. You guys are mentioning trading's easy. I sold this at all-time highs, thought it was a great trade, but look where we are now. Gapping back to the upside this morning, 2% here. Lennar upping their dividend, $2 a share now. So yeah, my bad.
So bad, Brendan. What the hell are you even thinking? Taking
no.
profits? Oh my God.
Making money on it.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I mean, we got KBH is there we go. Oh no, it was XHB is what I'm looking for here. Because again, and just to promote what we do every single day, I'm not doing it for no reason. I'm doing it for you guys, the market recap show. We've been talking about this XHB for a long time, and we were wondering back in, well, I mean, everything went to the downside, but remember in the summer, we had new positions, as Brendan was mentioning there, in the housing spot from Berkshire. Warren Buffett was talking about, I think it was Lennar and KB Homes and Toll Brothers, and there's a few of those that he wasn't in, but probably 2 of those 3 he was. Anyways, it sort of topped out, and this is when we sort of got the information, I thought June, July, August or so, and then all of a sudden it just came back in, and this is when we said, well, we're at the 200 period here, what about trying to hold some of this 66, and it had to get way in, and then it saw a break, and then we were like, okay, well now you get that garbage out of here like we always talk about it, and there's the buy right there at $71, pretty easy buy, but again, everything was pretty easy, as Brendan just mentioned, and I keep mentioning as well, back in late October, early November. I dressed up as a Bitcoin idiot that day, and Bitcoin ran up about 100% from that point. Right now, $74, great move for XHB, nice upside. We did get some demand today. Mortgages are back in the play again with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. XHB, again, as rates start to calm themselves down and maybe come back in, you could see home builders now starting to go back up to the upside. If you can't afford to buy a house that's already built, you got to go ahead and buy a new home, right? And so they're still the most affordable pieces out there. They continue to build them with lots of success. It's Lennar, it's XHB. I would, just like Brendo, you could pick and choose a name, but this ETF is super hot fire, and anything down into here, man, $90. I mean, if you can get it's kind of like get that garbage out of here to the downside now. If you can buy something in and around this like $88, $86 on any kind of a dip buy, that's fantastic. I like housing, I like homes. Population's not going anywhere except for up, and they're not making any more land. So we got to build more houses. I like XHB here with a home buyers ETF.
Yeah, with regards to Lennar, the only thing I'd be cautious about is something that I saw happen on, oddly enough, Snapchat in terms of a setup. Because Snapchat had a very similar looking chart. And then there wasn't really a catalyst per se yesterday. Then you get the gap up, and then it failed a previous wick high and then came back under, and it sold off pretty heavily. So when you have that big of a wall at 150, which is what I'm seeing here, it's a huge wall, you gap above it. If you then fail the next level up, which would be that 155 here today, be careful for a snapback. And the only reason it came to mind is because I was going over this chart on Snapchat, where it had this 150, sorry, $17.50 level. It broke it out and then rejected that break a second time. It ends up flushing. It came back like $2, so over 10%. It did a similar thing yesterday, trying to get above that same 17.5 level. It's not to say this is going to happen in Lennar. I said Lamar. Yeah, it's NFL playoffs, got Lamar in the brain. But the 17.5 level, when it failed it a second time yesterday, it was a huge rejection. So that's what I'd be cautious with. If you trade Lennar, that 150, if it fails back under, sometimes you get some real profit taking off those failed breakout reversals.
Just looking at MARA here, there's a little bit of volume that came in. It's worth noting, maybe we can spend some time on this, guys, talk a little bit about the chances of this happening intraday are very, very small. The announcement probably comes after the close again tonight about the SEC decision. But one of those days where we have to keep our eyes out and watch for any kind of headlines that might come through. But MARA with a bit of a downtick there through 24.75. I mean, this thing just tightening up inside of its range. Also worth noting, really nothing in the way of significant economic data today. Wholesale inventories at 10 can move the market if it's a crazy number. There's also some Fed speak later on 3:15, I believe it is. There's a Fed speaker coming up this afternoon, but maybe we're spending a couple minutes here, guys, just planning or talking about what to do if this does come out intraday.
I mean, it is going to come out, and they're all going to get approved. So what I would just do is just look what happened yesterday. So here's Coinbase. I mean, just use history as what's going to happen now. We think we get approved. Here's the rip up to 157. Fake tweet. Here's the move down. So we started, like, let's just pretend nothing happened yesterday. So Coinbase closes at 151. Tweet comes out, goes to 157. So they like the news that it's getting approved. Then we realize that it's a fake tweet, bounces around, people trying to figure out if it is, confirm that obviously that it was a fake tweet, and then the market moves down into 145, assuming that there is no acceptance now of the coin, of the ETFs, okay? But there is going to be acceptance. It's going to happen today. So would I expect a kind of a bump up? Yes, I would. So I would think that Coinbase does bump up, but I'm going to wait for the fade. I don't think this is worthy enough of, a huge move back up for Coinbase. I still have that 160, 162-ish in mind for a short if it gets up to there. But this is what happened. Got approved, spiked up $5, then dropped 10 when it was not. So I don't know. I feel like Coinbase is what it is. We got Bitcoin right here. Bitcoin's kind of not doing anything. So we'll hover around. I'll trade Coinbase. I really like Mara. I'll trade both of them. But the thing for me about Coinbase is it's on the sticky note already, and it's just breaking this 144. I already have the order set to go. If it breaks it in the pre-market, I'll take that short as well. I'm going short 144 on Coinbase. I think it's way overvalued at these levels, and I think Coinbase has, I don't know, I said a firm would have a 3. I call the firm down 25%. 25% on this, to me, doesn't seem enough. I think you can get chopped in half. An 8 handle. I don't know. Let's just wait to see what happens with Coinbase. But I'm not a buyer at these levels. That's for sure.
I think there'll be a lot of buyers at the 1 to 112 level. The last one on 112 on the daily on Coinbase was a big deal before resistance-wise. I feel like I was going to talk about Mara, but since we're talking about it, we can go over to Coin. Like that 112 level was a big deal, and then when it dipped, it didn't even want to get anywhere close to it. I feel if it breaks a 50 period, I think you find some buyers down in that range because that was huge, and you can even go back a couple of years as well. As far as news coming out in the middle of the day, look, if you're in position in Coinbase or Mara, you're going to know, unless you're not at your seat, you're going to know very quickly if something were to happen in the middle of the day. There's not much you can do about it if you're in position, one way or the other. There's going to be a spike. If you have a stop somewhere, it's going to get run. You can look to maybe join some kind of a move. I don't want to be joining a move intraday. If there's a ridiculous, this is a volume spike, because the anticipation is that it's going to be after the market. I'd rather try to catch a secondary play, but I will have stops on something like Mara if I have to. The $27 level is your 162 on Coinbase on Mara. It's the same thing. You've been holding this channel pretty much the last week and a half, since the beginning of the year anyways. It's been a big level, this 27. It tried to break in the aftermarket, and that's where it reversed. So that's what I want to look at. Yesterday, Mara had some success with the long stair step from the $25 level. So I like that as an over-under as well. If Mara is not above 25 and holding bids above 25, I don't think I want to be long the stock. Because that's what was essentially working. Every time it got above and started trending, there were good dip buys, like 2 days in a row. 3 days yesterday, although the late day move wasn't necessarily as good, but that 25 has been a pretty good over-under level. I lean to be in a bit of a sell the news type of camp here, but the news is until after market. If I get the resistance, great. Otherwise, just stick to the plan like we had yesterday.
Through a few analyst moves this morning, Zillow Group, one of those, down 3%. Speaking of the home sector, anyway, Zillow Group down 3%, downgraded to neutral from buy from Bank of America. Etsy on my chart here, there's not a lot of volume behind this, but Etsy downside 1.8%. Goldman with a downgrade on Etsy today. Schwab downgraded from Citigroup. There's AXP as well. We touched on that earlier in the week. Such a strong daily chart on AXP, but downgraded to underperform from market perform from BMO Capital Markets. Not much in the way of upgrades this morning, but a few things moving downside, including actually Goldman Sachs as well. GS down slightly. Looks like BMO with a downgrade on Goldman ahead of bank earnings, guys.
The frustrating thing about Etsy is that downgrade. There was actually, I was mentioning Snapchat, but the other thing that was potentially breaking out this week was actually Pinterest. Like Pinterest on the daily, and Pinterest and Snapchat were looking like potential breakout candidates if they could have held on to bids. The downgrade on Etsy probably doesn't help the group, and this one is, I don't know, like there's so much to watch today. Like it's easy to look at the trend and say that actually it's right at the 50 period. 75 is a big psychological level, and it's been a good kind of pivot point for the stock. So if it breaks 75 down, that actually looks like a really good setup. But it's done 9,000 shares of pre-market volume. The spread is 15 cents. Since I called it up, I've seen one deep print for 8 shares, but I haven't really seen any prints going off on Etsy. So it's hard to look at this and say, yeah, that's going to be the trade, because who knows what the liquidity is going to be like if it breaks at 75. Like, could the spread open up? You get 74 70s on a break like this, and then you have to hold it probably too far against you based on the opening spread. But yeah, that 75 looks pretty solid. Like if this is your baby, I'd be looking for a breakdown at that level. You could always go dip and rip if that's your strategy, and you can only go long, wait for a breakdown that doesn't really fail, and then get back in there above. But I'm more disappointed because on watch right now for me was Pinterest at this high, which I don't think we're going to see. I don't know, you're still up there. Maybe you get a breakout on Pinterest. I already showed you guys Snapchat kind of pulled back huge in the afternoon yesterday off that big level. But yeah, I think that downgrade might be enough to take some of the wind out of the sails of Pins.
Okay, so I don't have too much interest in Pins or Etsy. I never really believed in those companies. Look at this. I just want to talk to everybody. I really think, the more and more I think about this, and I've had 5 comments on this already, and look here, Neil. Oh, it's not. Wayne had asked me a question about the Bitcoin ETFs, because I know you mentioned that yesterday.
Wayne and I were talking the whole train ride home.
Yeah, exactly. So I told him not to buy, but I can explain that to everybody in a couple of seconds. But right now, I just want to talk about this right here. Like, if you own GBTC, I got to make sure Jeff Mendo's not coming on right now. Okay, good. If you own GBTC right now, I just feel like this will eat into your profits like insane amounts. Like honestly, just to pick out and save like this 150 basis points, while you'd save about 100 and like, I don't know, Vanex there, Fidelity's here. Like if you like ARC, like some of these names are I mean, there's a company, I think we've all heard of them before. I think it's BlackRock right here. You know, 0.3% versus 1.5%. Like, I'd be really, really interested to hear if some of these are going to get a little fixed up here as they see sort of the competition. I mean, they should know what their competition is charging. So I wonder if this comes down at some point. That's maybe makes sense if that's what it is right now. But because I posted this, I got it. You saw where I got it from. So it's just a matter of some of these may change. I want everybody to do their own research. But yeah, the grayscale product is 1.5%. So I could see today some of and I'm going to look in my account. I don't believe I own any GBTC, but I might have as an early participant in all of this. My whole thing is that if that's what the number is going to be on the management fee, then this is going to sell off regardless of what Bitcoin does. So I would say watch out for that sell off at GBTC especially. So what I would do, right, just my own advice to myself, is I'm going to look to see if I do have GBTC, and then if not, you know, I'm going to get into that, you know, whatever. The symbol that I like the most is HODL. So it's not available yet. You got to wait for the approval. But, you know, like get into cash. So like You could sell. Hey, this is good for Jeff Mendel and Pink Sheets. Go over to OTC markets, give them some liquidity. And if you wanted to empty out of that ETF, get into another one with a lesser fee. Now, again, up to yourself. Do your own research. I have no idea. I could be recommending FTX here to everybody, but I just think BlackRock, some of those bigger names, I feel like they're going to be well managed and well positioned moving forward. So do your own research and all of that, but that's why I put that out, because I'm trying to look out for everybody.
Yeah, let's see how, I mean, pricing is going to be interesting on these as well, how that will work going into this potential approval. Let's get into everything else you need to know if you haven't done so yet. Very simple. Go to watchlist.tradertv.live. You enter your email address, and then that just appears every day in your inbox. Absolutely free from us. All of your homework done for you. Let's continue this conversation here and talk some more crypto, guys. Obviously, top of the list, as it should be, coming off of what happened yesterday. You can see this was, what was it, 4:15. This news comes out. We get the huge move up to 48,000 we top out at, and then it instantly reverses and gets absolutely crushed down to 45. We get the consolidation overnight, but then more selling coming in this morning. Bit of a bounce right now back to above 45,000. But fake tweets ahead of what could be the real thing coming up after the close tonight.
Yeah, like in a situation like that, like I feel for people that trade. Again, crypto is a 24-hour market, but like if you were, like that's one thing. Like if you're trading in BTC, it wasn't really that big of a deal. But if you were trading in a Coinbase or in a Mara, you might be in a little bit of pain. And I think that's where you go cautionary a little bit here. I wanted to say something about the futures, but I guess we'll get a better chance to do that on the NASDAQ, I suppose. We don't have Sharif, but we'll make some thoughts while we're going over the watch list. Well, I mean, the futures are at an interesting level. That's 16.8. That's,
yeah.
And we're about to test it right now. You know what? I'm just going to jump to it. Because
I was going to say any one of us can do the Sharif rundown of the future.
I was going to start. You know, I'm just going to say it.
Yeah,
because
go for it.
Look, I know the market's down today, and we did have a big reversal off the top. But the first thing I'm looking for is just keep in mind that you have a stair step to the upside in the last couple of days, and that first parabolic top was 16.8. That's where the dip held to, at that 16.8 level on the NASDAQ. It was a big level on the way down as well when things were nasty to start the year. So I look at that 16.8. As long as if that can hold, then I'm still liking some of the things we liked to the long side previously. It doesn't have to be like an automatic, strong stock, but as long as we're above 16.8, I want to be looking for some buy opportunities. If we start failing underneath and you're at like 16.75, I don't want to be fighting longs. It's got to be a strong stock that I'm playing with. So it's an obvious level, but I think we should be paying attention to it just because, when I sat down, we weren't exactly at 16, and now we are. So bears mentioning. Already went over some of the levels in Mara in that 27. As far as Coinbase goes, the distinction between Mara and Coinbase and why I'm at least entertaining the thought of that 25 long is simply that Coin's already down. Mara is a miner and with a short float, I think just has a little bit more explosive upside potential if it decides to run into the event today. That's all. I've just preferred the Mara long. If I'm trading these two and I'm trading one on the long side, I'd rather be long Mara and short Coinbase, and that's been for a while now. You can see the channel in here. It's a tricky 161 level because it's more like 161.5. I think if Coinbase gets up there, you're not wrong until it probably breaks 162, 163. You're going to have to give that some wiggle room if you want to play that resistance, and that's on a big if we get there. And then Sean's talked about the 144. The announcements coming after market, we obviously are going to keep our ear to the ground, but at the end of the day, there's some gigantic levels on both these two stocks. Thankfully, that have been set up in the last week in the run-up to this event.
You mentioned the announcements coming after market. Have we gotten that? That's a fact?
That's the expectation. The overwhelming expectation.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I
expect it immediately.
As far as I'm concerned, I've been prepared for it since Friday because the early look, and going back into last year, was that as early as I think people were saying January 5th or 6th, and then the deadline is today. So most expectations would be that it happens after market, but my whole stance was that I'm just going to trade every single one of these with a stop. I put that in my note. I will not take a position in Coin or Mara without a hard stop that goes in instantly or even before I'm in position. And that's what I think is so tricky about the Coinbase top, because like it's a 161 area, but it's got 62. You might not be wrong about that short till 63, but I'm still going to use hard stops. So it might take a couple of shots at it if it gets up there.
Yeah, I mean, we use hard stops I use hard stops on every single trade. So let's just talk quickly about Coinbase. Nothing's different for me than every other name. I think this will come out. I mean, this could come out immediately. We'll see when it does. There it is. No, this is not this. I was looking at something else. This is that TaylorMade stuff. Okay. Anyways, nice move there. Upside right now. As you can see, it's starting to get going. Obviously, these ETFs are going to get approved. I've tweeted out the names there of the ETF, so it will get approved. It's just a matter of when, and then what do you think will happen with that? So there it is. Coinbase already showed you it will rip up. I'm going to be here to fade everything. I don't love the stock at all, and I prefer a short. And I already have the stop order in to take this short right here, breaking through 144. The order's already in. So if we break 144, I'm going short. That's already in there. If it breaks 160, I'm not going long up here. I'm not taking this long, but hey, if you guys want to do it, that is fine, man. I'm going to be sitting over here and doing what I do all day. I will fade any pops in Coinbase. I do not believe in this name, so I don't really care about this decision other than watching and see what happens with Bitcoin. I own crypto. I don't own Coinbase. So as far as Mara is concerned, again, thank you, Fabian. With Sharif not here, I know it can only be Fabian, so that's good. All right, so that's 27. Again, I don't know what Bitcoin mining has anything to do with this announcement, but I still like Mara. It's definitely coiling up right here. I just think that you want to go long down at 23. So if we get that dip like I'm expecting on this announcement, I expect to move higher, then I expect to move down. I think you can buy around $23. But the reason why I'm so hesitant about all of this is it's just where we've come from. We've seen the ramp up in Uber, we saw it in PanW, we saw it in Tesla, so many different names that get added to different indexes that have big events coming through. They have this huge run up, and for good reason. And then you fade out a little bit. We talked to Michael Noss on the Market Recap show, join it, my favorite show. He talked about he sold Mara at 25, so he missed this huge move up to 31. At some point, greed is good. And I think if you had it in your blood, then you've done really well, man. So I would say, like Neil mentioned there, wait for this announcement to come through, then sort of trade the price action. It's a 27.50 top and a 23 bottom. Just pick and choose whatever levels you want. I don't think it's worth trading in the middle. And people saying right there, what's up, DB? The options on Mara are redonkulous right now. And I mean, I assume it's going to be like that on Riot, on Mara, on Coinbase. What's up, Zion? If ETF gets approved, wouldn't it go up? Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about where these things, exactly what Neil's going to say there. I'm talking about these things of where they're coming from. It's just like we all knew that
these Uber chart.
Yeah, I mean, people know. I mean, people know about Uber. I sold Uber at $63. I mean, it could get right back up there, and if it does, it would be on fundamentals and on upgrades and downgrades, and that's great. But we knew about these ETFs, Zion. This was $70, $80. Bitcoin goes, plus you get the tailwinds of Bitcoin pricing, which is coming down right now, by the way. And then you also get the tailwinds of the approval of the ETF. So for me, it's a very, very simple trade, and just watch it, play the levels, and maybe trade it through options. I don't mind those ideas at all.
CNBC is talking about this as well. SEC and X investigate fake post. The SEC came out, I saw almost immediately, and said it had nothing to do with their system, kind of pointing at Twitter and pointing at X, that it was their fault, but we'll see what comes from that. Let's talk about these semiconductors. What a week it's been. That's a 15-minute chart of NVIDIA back to the downside, but 2-3 days in a row here, straight to the upside. Get ready for AI-powered cars. Not sure how I feel about that, but Intel announcing a whole bunch of stuff yesterday in regards to bringing AI into your car, hopefully not to drive your car for you, but don't think we're there yet. TSM also out with earnings, guys.
Position, which Essentially, it's like like a type of chip that will be more readily used in cars, right? It's a little better power efficient, but not as strong. It wasn't a gigantic acquisition at all, but that's the reason for it. So, anyways, like Intel and Micron, I put in the like yesterday. They were both, I mean, down, to be honest with you, and I felt like Micron was a little bit weaker. But Intel here, look, it's got a pretty defined range. I'm going to get to why I like Micron for a fade maybe a little bit better. But Intel's got a pretty defined range. It could not break out the top, and it closed on the lows. You guys all saw the charts of AMD and NVIDIA yesterday. And it's not to start with the dogs, but Micron, similar story. It could not break the tops. It ended up closing in the bottom of the range. Well, if it's weak, I want to short the bottom of the range. If 16.8 fails, I want to short these stocks. If you're looking for some long breakouts, then NVIDIA, I mean, Sean's going to talk about NVIDIA. AMD's the one it's over 150 today. So while NVIDIA has had that big run, it's pulled back here. If it gets back to 42, which is the lower high from yesterday in the afternoon, I think that can be a short zone. But AMD is over 150. So it's like you're gapping above the high. You might be testing this 151. I don't want to jinx it, but you ended the year with a 151 top. And then we pulled back. You're right back up into this high. So you're at the key price level right now, which sets you up two ways. You can go like failed breakout reversal through 150, or if it just breaks this clean. Now the high is like 151.15 or something like that. So we're pretty close to that level. That's why AMD's of a little more interest for a potential jailbreak today than NVIDIA. NVIDIA's kind of already done the jailbreak. AMD got back to the level where it can do it. But as far as Micron and Intel goes, I'll probably be on Micron, but you tell me. Like if you were a semi and you weren't up yesterday, then you tipped your hand a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that 151 is huge on AMD. Could be a level for sure there. Maybe we should have looked at it. Look, we made more money on NVIDIA the last couple days than we would have thought we would have made on this stock all month. So NVIDIA has been absolutely fantastic. Breaking through 500, breaking that 520 yesterday, getting that. I mean, just go over to my Twitter and you'll be able to see everything on here. So what I'm going to look for right now is basically just a dip back in. I wrote here, I mean, we can, first of all, just a couple things here on you can go over to @TraderTV, Sean, we'll talk about this in a minute. We have NVIDIA down to 529 and we've explained why. Interesting thing here from Gunjan right now, the 10-year just broke below 4%. So that's pretty interesting to me. I think this could be a thing. Let's watch out for the 10-year right now. What's up, Gunjan? Right there. Since we're talking about this, do you know that last year in the SOX 30, obviously 30 semiconductor names, the only name that was red was Wolfspeed. Thank you so much, Rob. And you must always live in the meow. So thank you, Rob, for that one. Wolfspeed, the only name down in 2023. So that was pretty interesting. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And then, of course, there's all the profiles and whatnot. So, all right, so here we go. I like NVIDIA down here. We talked about this. This has been amazing. So I'm already feeling like we've knocked this out of the park twice in a row now on NVIDIA. Let's see if we could do it again. I just said we've made more money in the last 2 days than I thought we would have made all month on this name, but whatever, we'll take it when it's there. Fade it into 550. If we ever get up there, it's a pretty key level. That's the only spot I'll be shorting this. CES still going on. I still like NVIDIA, and this is where I want to buy it. So if we can fade back in, I'm looking at that 530 level right there. I wrote down 529. It's kind of like 528 is this top here that we had a problem doing in the pre-market, basically. But like yesterday, we were long at 518 right here. Then we were long again at 520 on support. So, we were saying like play VWAP for dips, but that's, yesterday VWAP was here for a dip. Now we're way above it, or way below it, because we've had such a move. And NVIDIA right now, high up, VWAP's all the way up here. So you might want to anchor it maybe to these lows if you have anchored VWAP, but I don't on this platform. So I'm going to see about 530 if we drop back in. Yesterday we did have that move real early on NVIDIA right here, this drop down. So that was 526 into where we got long 518. So that's $6, right? So again, you drop that $6, it gets you right into here. Probably worth a shot at 530, honestly. I wrote down 529 just because I was trying to get a little bit cute with that top level here, whatever I just showed you guys again on that. So I was kind of thinking about that as a level right into here, this 528, 529, but 530 could be it as well. And then if we're wrong, I mean, 525, like what is this top right here? This top, what was a top until it wasn't. That's 526.50. You know, you guys want to go long 529 and give it $2.50. I think that's well worth it. Trade your shares accordingly. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'll average down into that 526 level. So let's just see if NVIDIA wants to work. The name that I'm fading though, Brendo, is going to be Intel. This is another name that's on the sticky note right now, 49. Let's just fade that. We like the short 50. If we get up to 49, we'll do that. Intel again today. Weak yesterday. It's a fade for me. It's Intel at short 49. Hola, Kat. I hope you're doing well. To start the morning, it's 9:15.
Cat sneaking across the stage right now. Amazon trying to make it a fourth day in a row to the upside here. Still positive right now in the morning. We did come back to basically where we ended yesterday, 0.3, but yeah, daily chart looks great for AMZN. A couple things to know, as we mentioned, if you're with us in the first 30 minutes, Amazon revealing buy with Prime for Salesforce Commerce Cloud. So there's that. And then Amazon, yes, I saw some people asking the question, Amazon owns Twitch? Yep. And they're also cutting 500 employees, or about 35% of the workforce, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Amazon. It again is another sticky note name. You guys can go find that on the sticky note. Right now, long 151 on this name. The bid's already there, so hopefully it comes in and fills us up. We're going to be out like 150-125 or so, right back into this level where we closed yesterday. Nice little bump up in the market on close and balance, and giving us this 51.50 level. So I think you can go probably long at 51.50. I feel like we can maybe start that right there. The market's trying to figure itself out right now. Amazon's been a huge winner in this sort of market rebound, right? We bottomed out there at 144, and man, did we show you how good that 144 was. I mean, this was just such a huge level, and you still have a ways to go, man. You still got up to 155, 156. So let's see if we can get up to that level. I don't want to really play too many break longs. I wrote down 153. It's, you know, 154.60, 154, 150. I mean, it's just, I so much prefer the dip buy. So let's wait to see if Amazon gives that to us. I think that we do have a good chance to break that a little bit longer through 152, and it's going to do that right off the open. So let's give this a thought. I have 153 written down as a break long, but if the market does fail, it's 151, and I'm all about longing that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Amazon, it's not a bad catalyst. I'm not gonna say that's a bad catalyst. It's still gonna be a decent one, but it's not the reason that I'm looking for the long in Amazon. It's way more technical. We talked about this holding that 50-period moving average, just to go over it one more time, because this is where the long came from yesterday, and this is where the long comes from me today. The fact that you're bouncing off this level, I think you can get there to 155 where the resistance has been. I look at a level like that and say, okay, if we get there, I'm thinking short. But this lines up almost perfectly. If we retest that 16.8 level on the NASDAQ, then I think that consolidation in the afternoon is where I want to go. It was a big level. Keyed yesterday off of 148.5. That's this bottom. Well, where was the top when we made this bottom? That was right in here. You have wicks to 151, and you've got the body here to the 60s and 70s. Then we support that same price area. So I don't want to have a line in the sand at that price. I want to be looking for the longs into 150.75 there. Until it breaks 150.5, I don't think the long for me is wrong. Underneath that price, don't want to fight it. Because I think you could head right back into 148.50. So I like the setup. It's set up for multiple longs because it gave you a trend yesterday. So I don't think I don't want this to be a one and done just because you happen to get the dip buy. You know, that'd be a mistake if it ends up trending for the rest of the day.
Quickly, I'm about to, well, we already talked about Amazon, but I just want to show you one thing that I just tweeted out right now. Go follow me at TraderTV Sean for everything you guys need. Look at this. Here are the top stocks trending on Wall Street Bets. I'm going to do this for you guys every day. You don't have to go anywhere but here. This is as of swaggy stocks right now. NVIDIA, Corn, I have no idea.
Useless.
Boeing, BTC, Tesla, Apple, Coin, Mara, fine. I'm fine with that. And then AMD as well. So all the names that we're talking about are all the trending ones. You're at the right spot, guys.
A note here for Amazon, some possible layoffs at Prime as well. So there was another move up there. I'm going to double check on that, but again, possible layoffs coming through for Prime at Amazon as well. Let's talk Tesla. You can finally buy this remodeled Model 3 in the US. Pricing stays the same. There are a couple of new colors I was reading. It doesn't really matter, but Tesla had a big day down yesterday, if you remember. They had to revise some range data for North American markets on the back of some revisions to how they're supposed to calculate it coming through from regulators. So that seemed to be the reason that Tesla was under so much pressure early on yesterday. But you can finally buy that new Model 3 here, guys.
And, you know, obviously Tesla has been under a little bit of pressure, no question about it. For most of the morning yesterday, for most of the day yesterday, Tesla was the weakest of the names that we are generally watching here. It was disappointment for most because you saw so much strength in the overall market. But hey, you bounced off. We didn't quite get to the 200 period moving average, so you can't say we directly bounced off it, but it was a good hold on volume down there at about 232. So all you got to do now is hold a higher low and you have a chance to get back to a key. Like 238, that's a very similar look to Amazon, like you had a resistance spot. There was a break away from it that couldn't really fall through. And then yesterday's plunge came back to that 238. So I'm leaving that one in there as a key level. But on any dips, the first question becomes, can you hold on to 235? But more importantly, if we double bottom test that 200 period moving average, I'll look for the longs on Tesla down there. I always talk about Rivian, or if I'm looking at Rivian when we talk about Tesla, that's the time to do it. Still looking for a $20 break. Obviously, yesterday that didn't happen. Had a line drawn on the chart there, but there is your top at like 1990. We got to pre-market, we're at 1990 again yesterday. It's fallen off that level a couple times, so Rivian pulling back in. But the 20 is still very much the level on watch for me. You can short off of that level. If it breaks it out, I think you can reverse into some longs. We're just a little bit further away from it than we were at the open yesterday.
All right. Honestly, I'm not. You guys know when I trade Tesla, we're all over this thing, and we talk about it, and we really love it, and I love trading Tesla, and it's one of the #1 stocks for me to trade. But the thing is like, it's kind of boring. I mean, I don't really see much happening. I mean, if I looked at this yesterday, of course, you'd be shorting here 235 and longing down here at 233. But, you know, to be able to pick and choose a dollar when we had a $20 winner on NVDA, when we had a $5 winner on AMD, when we did like pretty much everything we could everywhere else, to me, no catalyst, no dice. I'm not, that was a huge move. I mean, I wish I would have had that. You know, but I don't see a catalyst. But if you're looking technicals, man, this 236 break looks juicy as, you know what? I like this break long. For me, it's not on my radar right now. I will choose to look at it. I mean, what was the story? I mean, oh, it's a new Model 3. Okay, I guess that's fine. You know. We've already known about that they're redesigning it. To me, the more interesting name here is Rivian. And unfortunately, I can't recommend Rivian as a buy because just like Tesla, just like a lot of these EV names, they're not participating. The market has rallied back up. Like Rivian dumped down. We know they missed. We know that there wasn't a great report by them on the delivery number, okay? And then they're sitting on more cars than they know what to do with. But the thing is like it hasn't gone back up. So this continues to be a problem for me. This, to me, is the best trade, is going to be the short on Rivian. So let's wait to see. You know, all we want for Christmas is our 2 front teeth, and all we want right now is a Rivian downgrade. And hopefully that can happen tomorrow, and hopefully we don't break this 19 by that time. I want to downgrade. I want to smash this 19. I like this short. You have protection up here at 20. I like the short, and I want to buy Rivian at $16. So, you know, ifs and buts are candies and nuts, but that's what I like. I like those plays, and I just say let's be as honest as we can. I don't want to go long this. I only want to go short, and I think I'm going to look back now. The more that I think about this, if the market does rally, this Tesla 236 is going to be a monster trade. Oh man, now I got too much more on my mind, which is never a good thing. What's up, Wahid? Whenever I see something that says, Sean, you completely ignored something, just in case you know, like I have bids on Amazon, Intel, NVIDIA, and SoFi right now. I have stop orders on SoFi and on Coinbase. I'm hosting a show in front of 7,000 viewers right now. We're working on all of this stuff. Both of us, all of us will try it to get to everything. And Lucid right now, the reason why I'm ignoring stuff like this is because I'm a catalyst type of guy. You know, and right now, it's just making lows, low. Okay?
You swing it short.
And no, it's just like, this is a break short. There's a short here.
We said this yesterday, actually.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, it's just like, the reason why I look at this and it's like, you got to hit it early, and it's just early, I'm looking at other names. So Wahid, I think you're 100% right. Short this POS until it gets bought out by the Saudis for 350. All right, like just watch out for this. 367. We are now at 52-week highs. I'm actually glad, Wahid, that you brought this up. I know we only have one more thing to go, Apple, and it's not even on my radar today. But right here, this is a 52-week low. It's all-time lows probably on Lucid. Here's the daily chart. I don't know what else to tell you. Fisker's down there at $1. Lucid's here. And I think Rivian joins this party lower, man. EV is not the spot to be in right now. If you're going to do anything, I'd just say buy Tesla.
Yeah, quickly just to wrap up here, Apple with a downgrade this morning, a little bit negative, a little more negative than the rest of these. Worth noting, it's who was it again? This analyst I've never heard of before. Oh, I got it. Anyways, I don't even remember the name. Anyways, the reason this is significant is because we've seen just in this week 2, 3, or even 4 now, I think it is, downgrades for Apple, specifically pointing to holiday quarter sales coming out lower than expected. Remember, a couple weeks away here from earnings, so relative weakness today again for Apple.
Yeah, look, Apple, 2 days ago, Apple made that bottom off the 180 level. So the Apple bottom, you know what, was at that 180. And the reason we go over this, you look for stocks that are making moves at, or giving you interesting price levels, or giving you good setups, or giving you a good catalyst. So that's why we were looking at a long, because it was simply the 200 period moving average. You get a nice round number to boot. I thought you had room to at least retest the 50 period up here, like 187.5. So I was thinking shorts at 187, 188 was going to be the jam, especially when we closed at the high yesterday. I kind of felt like that's what I would come in tomorrow or today and be thinking shorts in this range. Instead, the top off the 180 bounce is a 188, is a 185.5. You had a close there at the beginning of the year. So first day of the year, we closed at that price. You got a pre-market high there. So that's my thoughts on Apple. That's the key price level. I think with Apple, it's usually pretty scalpable, where you can look for that kind of a top, make your 50 cent to $1 kind of move. If we get to 180, we get to 180. I liked it as a long before, and it was a great one. I think you take a shot at it if we somehow see that bottom. I mean, Apple's got to go down 2% for us to get there. So a heck of a lot has to go wrong in the market for us to get there. And I like a couple of the weaker semi names for the short side. What we didn't talk about yet, which I'm going to maybe pivot to, is, so yesterday we were short in the afternoon on a firm. We were not short in the morning on a firm, which was probably a mistake because that set up really well. I don't think you see 45, whatever. I'm actually let me cancel this order because a firm just broke 44, so I'm canceling my short to pop at 45, which is unlikely to come in the same way. But now I'll look at the pre-market bottom in here and try and play the fade in a firm, as it looks like it's taking the stairs to the downside. Before it broke the 44, I was looking for that same price that we got yesterday, but you have to make an adjustment live here. A firm just turned red. And it's not through yesterday's low, but it's back through the 44 level. So I'll look for something off of the pre-market highs here for an initial fade. I like the 45 area better. I think that's your real go zone, your bigger go zone for the short. But I want to be looking short on a firm like we have been for the last few days.
Yeah, a firm has been honestly despite the damage that we've done on NVIDIA. I'm glad that Neil brought this up because I always forget about it, and it's been one of my top stocks this year. We've been crushing a firm, man. It was an affirming trade, Fabian. We shorted all yesterday, man. We shorted all of this. We shorted the day before. We wrote down on the sticky note 46 as the top. So and that's been paying off. And we've also called a 3 handle on this name. So with only a minute left, let's watch out for a firm. The name that I'll probably I was going to say I'm not going to get into Coinbase, but we're definitely going to have that on our watch. We're also going to be into NVDA. Again, nothing's really moving here in the pre-market. Intel, the fade up to 49, that could come in as well. Maybe it's just Amazon that we watch out, because this is going to be probably one of our first fills. And then SoFi, we didn't get a chance really to talk about that one. I really love SoFi today on a couple upgrades. Let's see if we break 860 and buy some of these dips down to 820, breaking through $8. Let's see if we can hold that level. So SoFi is probably the first trade that I will get into today. But man, oh man, are we ready to rock and roll here with only 15 seconds left? Let's get ready to go here. NVIDIA, Pfizer, Amazon, all on watch.
Yes, sir. Adair is on the bell. Let's ring it on this hump day, BTC day in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go.
Okay.
Casino is open. Amazon's already above 152.
Yeah.
Got to be patient for that
No
dip.
surprise.
AMD 151. We'll have to wait for that. It's actually holding the 150 level pretty clean here. On it, like look at the AMD is just barcoding the 150 level, so nothing there just yet. If you're watching Coinbase or Mara, which I am, Mara is not above. It can't seem to break that 25 early. 25 has been a pretty big line in the sand on Mara. If anyone, by the way, there's a couple people asking about Juniper. Juniper is being bought for $40 in cash. Big deal. Probably won't move that much to get that out of the way.
Coin just flushed pretty hard down to 146 there off of this 150 top. So, we could get into coin immediately if we want this.
Mara 25.
Let's just, oh shoot. Wow, this spread is spready.
Did that as you opened 2 days ago?
I just tried to get short there at 148.50, and then it absolutely collapsed in there. So we'll watch that. If it breaks through 150, we'll get out. I'm just setting the stop order now for Coinbase. We are going to try to short up near that 149, and then get out if we break 150. Pretty simple trade there. As we're starting to head back in for Coinbase. I don't have any fills yet because I don't see anything that I want. Amazon's still floating around a little bit. We'll just continue to watch out for some of these. I got the sticky note ready to go here. Coin, NVIDIA, Intel, Amazon, and then SoFi maybe moving around. I'm completely comfortable not getting in this early, but here comes SoFi all the way back in. I do have a bid at 25. Let's just take it now.
So there was an over-under play there at 25 on Mara. I said I'd look for that over-under. I got the short, but late, and it just broke the 25. The market's going up here, so I took one shot at the 25 level. I don't want to fight the short above that line. I'm gonna stick here. Let's stick the fail on Micron. Maybe you should have just gone into it right away instead of looking to short the pop. If I played it off the afternoon levels, Micron is in the dumps. This is exactly what happened to this stock yesterday, and it's wasting absolutely no time. NVIDIA 530, 540?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it?
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
okay.
Probably.
Okay. I thought AMD would be testing 151 before this happened. I have my stop for the break on AMD, but it looks like NVIDIA is already approaching. Now, 152 was the lower high. Sorry, 542 is the lower high that this put in yesterday. So it's another rocket ship, which is wasting absolutely no time. It was AMD that I'm set up for in a 151 break because that was a big level on the daily, where I was thinking fade tops on NVIDIA, which can be crazy. Let's let this one get into that top and see if it can make a bit of a turn. AMD's just kind of hanging out here in the 30s and 40s, and that's the one I want to go through.
Yeah, we're kind of the same way here with watching out for everything. So we're short Coinbase, but the spread in Coinbase is 70 cents. So
that's what happened.
Yeah, I have to be very, very careful here. I have a market order to get me out. It'll probably punch me out at a ridiculous price, but we're just gonna have to watch out for it as Coinbase is really starting to ramp up here. This was actually in the money, but the spread was too large that I didn't want to close it, so I sat on the bid. This looks like it wants to take 150, and if it does, we're out. I think this is worth a shot. Right now, it's not. Again, it's not a big position, so we'll wait for it. SoFi. I mean, look, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like sometimes we make these calls and they work out. Look, it's the only trade I said, okay, let's just buy SoFi right now. So we bought it at 30. Look where SoFi is. I mean, there goes Coinbase. Actually, we got a good fill there. We didn't even get too bad there at all. 150. I don't even know if that broke 150 there. But we got a 150 fill, so let's wait to see. Okay, there it goes. I was going to say if it didn't break, then we didn't want it. But there it is right now, man. It's SoFi. SoFi just continues to be the jam one more time. And yeah, we did it. Those of you that are looking at SoFi, I mean, how about 15 cents on there we go. How about this? Nice move on SoFi. And like I said, we didn't even trade this yesterday. And this is what we're doing right now. It's SoFi. It's a monster. We have it. And, There it is, 1 for 1 with the coin hit, but the coin hit, we're going to be taking those all day, and trust me, we're waiting for bigger than a $1.40 hit or $1.20 hit, whatever that was. But there goes SoFi, man, a monster to the upside again. So I hope you guys took that one. I don't know.
Yes, sir. Love that SoFi. It's at the $8 level, or the area on SoFi. Remember the last couple times it bounced, it got to 10. On the not that day, but it got to 10 eventually. We're gonna go to Darren in a quick little second. NVIDIA did turn off a 542. I got into a firm off the pre-market high, got some 35s in there, took some out just a bit better than 1-to-1 at 44.10, and we'll see if we can rinse and repeat that one. Amazon is absolutely gone. We're going to look to take the stairs to the upside there. But had I not been on, if I was not on AMD, NVIDIA right at that 542. Pay attention to your notes a little bit better. NVIDIA just got there really fast. Sorry, Adara at the desk.
I have an interesting one here. AIR Test Systems, AHAR is the ticker for this one. Down on the day after lowering its full year guidance, but getting a nice pop off the open with volume, headed to the upside now, guys. AIR Systems.
Okay, AIR Systems. I'm still watching out for this SoFi and trying to watch out for Coinbase. Coinbase has retreated back in again, so that's going to be something here. That 150. I mean, I play off key levels, so to get out at 150, at least there it is. Yeah, you're right, John. I mean, I still think it's live. I still think you have that trade. So if you want it, take it. You know what? Let's just start it with a little smaller, because the way this one's going to open up for us. We got to be careful. I do like that spread that we got there. We just shorted 149 flat there. We'll see. But I did like that when it came to 150, it didn't exactly open up like crazy. And we got a 150.02 fill or whatever. So that's pretty good. That high right now, 150.50. So let's give it to 150.50. Look, if we were still in, we'd be in now. But we'll take the short and hold on to it because, again, check your notes and just do what you say. And that's why we had that written down, baby, on our market recap show. And that is to follow your own notes. And that's been a lot better for me since doing that. But you know what? You could be a talking head all you want. It doesn't matter. We could say we like all these stocks. If you don't have them on and you don't make any real money on them, then it doesn't really matter. So let's just continue to watch it. We're making money on SoFi, so that's a banger. Thank you to everybody in the chat for that as well. And we'll just wait to see what happens now. This bottom's been 147. Let's put it right here, 147.50. See if we can't capture $1.50 on this.
Yes, sir. So I've reloaded a couple of things. Mara went right back to it at that 25 level, and then the same reload on a firm. This is a 3-minute chart, so this did not happen at the same time. If I drew a 1 minute, you'd see that we got 2 fills, and then the same out here about that 44.10 level. So rinse and repeat on a firm and ring the register. The stock has just been weak. I don't know what to tell you the last couple of days. Okay, so Micron's a little bit out of pocket to the downside. It's now down $1. They're absolutely getting flushed, which does mean I have to sort of pivot from one, which we can't get into. I'm not selling the lows on Microsoft, to the ancillary name, which is the secondary name. We're short this one, which is Intel off the 48 level yesterday, so I'm going to pivot to that. Micron's too far gone to the downside. We'll get to NVIDIA in a second, but suffice to say NVIDIA pulling back off that 542 high. And some of the strength that has been in the chips is waning right now.
Yeah, shout out to Wayne. We just had $1 in the money. More than that, we had $1.20 on this Coinbase trade. We have it right now. Again, just give me the damn fill here, Coinbase. Give us it. There it is right now. Let's go. What up to John Reinhardt? You're now rocking with the best. Often imitated, never duplicated. See ya, Coinbase. Well, let's see. I don't know. It might still go up. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, we have a little penny stock moving like crazy right now. KITT is the ticker, KITT. Nauticus Robots is the company, or Nauticus Robotics, sorry, appointing a new interim CEO and securing additional funding, up about 60% right now, guys. KITT.
All right.
If they're not,
where's David?
Like I'm just saying, if they're not in automated driving, then sell the stock. That's ridiculous. That's a waste of a ticker symbol, as far as I'm concerned.
Mr. Hasselhoff?
Yeah, legend.
Hello.
You know
where's
what?
He
was that dude. Anyways, but he was that dude. There's no question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we'll get to, there it is. It usually has the little spikes that go with it. That's how
My
you
favorite.
feel. That's how you feel if you were short NVIDIA at the highs.
That's a great sound effect.
542 on an absolute dime. Look at the pullback now in NVIDIA. If this is gonna get back and start failing a breakout, you got to think in the other direction for a lot of these names. I said I'd pivot to Intel. I want another crack at this. I'm at 47.95. I might start this in the high 80s. And just try to get a bit of a piece in here in front of the 48 level. Affirm is still working fine. That's down underneath 44 temporarily. So we got the short to pop there. Mara we jump back into. I have yet to take profit on it because I'm looking for a bigger move into the downside, giving it a bit of a wider berth here on Mara. It's not breaking above that 25 as strong as it was before. And as always.
Adara, we need news on Meta. I think
Meta?
Meta is absolutely. Shout out to everybody out there that's yelling about it in the chat. Meta is absolutely screaming. Up $7, $8 now goes Meta. Like I said, man, never sell these best names that are out there, man. It's so stupid. Every day these names just keep on rallying. There goes Meta. Just an absolute monster, taking out all of the highs, man. That high that we're looking for is 380. I cannot believe that we are pounding the table down here at $100. And what a great trade that's been for Meta all damn year long.
Microsoft.
I mean, this is, look, man, yesterday, shout out to Raider Trader, came on the show. His new name, creative but not really, the Lag 7. He thinks they're going to be laggards this year. I tend to agree, but Meta right now is saying nepa to that. We just got long right now on Amazon. This one could be a lagger, but this is actually the name that I really like. So let's wait to see. We just picked that up on the bottom. So far, it's been a monster day, man. Coin, SoFi, Amazon. Let's see if we can keep it going. There's the dip into VWAP. You know, when we talked about this. When there's a gap, go to VWAP. Shout out to my good friend Brian on that one, Mr. Brian Shannon. Look at this. Let's go. We're already doing this, man. We're doing it over and over and over again. The People's Trader is in the building. This is what we said, man. We actually made this. We talked about this on the after show as well. Often imitated, never duplicated. You now found the best show on YouTube, and I want to thank everybody for subscribing and all of that. Let's go, man. It's a money. We don't need to worry about advertising now. We'll do that later. We gotta work on winning trades, man. That's why everybody's here. Everybody's here. They want winning trades. That's what it's all about. Here's a trade on Amazon. Right there, 60s up to O's. Let's take a piece out. Why not? Why? Because we're going long through 153 anyways. So here we go, man. That's a nice win there for Amazon. Let's just take it all out. Let's take it all out. Why not? That way we can get longer at 153. The party's on, baby. And there it is right now with another win on Amazon. And let's see if we can get through this 153. Here we go, man. We're waiting for that. We're waiting for AMD as well to break through 150.
No, it's not going to.
That's not happening.
No.
Right
the chips
now.
are not breaking higher.
The only thing is that Amazon right now is starting to go a little bit, so we actually really like that name. And here we go again. This is another one. It is a Sticky No Nation name, and there it is. So congratulations, anybody that has this. Shout out to Obi. Shout out to everybody that has this Amazon long. Another easy trade, brought to you by the note that is sticky. That doesn't sound good.
For a little phrasing, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't care. Whatever. Little phrasing issue there, but that's all right. It's a hot one. No questions asked. Amazon is going to be the strong name. Microsoft also moving. Meta made a big move. I just was yelling out. I didn't want to interrupt, but Microsoft with a big power move. I'm in two names, two shorts, both of them working right now. Mara is down at 24.30, so Mara really starting to extend. We waited for it to make a move down into the 60s to get it out. But I'm going to cover here. We're going to go to Adair in a quick second, but I'm covering off of this low on Mara and then looking to short the pop. The way this reacted on the initial dip yesterday is why I want to make this cover on the short and not just sit here thinking it'll go all day. Adair?
I have some news on Meta. We did get a price target increase from $400 to $470 from Mizuho. We actually did also just make new 52-week highs on Meta, part of why I have it up here right now as well. Lots of discussion of this name on social media. And also kind of a negative catalyst coming out of Turkey with the Turkish Anti-Competition Board finding Meta $160,000 US per day for a previous issue. So not really sure what is moving this one right now. We'll keep an eye on it. Very strong for Meta, guys.
Right. Right now, Coinbase, again, if you're looking if you're looking for winning trades, I mean, Amazon right now is 50 cents in the money, brought to you by the Sticky Note. Coinbase is now $1. What's up, John and everybody else? Coinbase right now, $1.50, $1.70 in the money for Coinbase. And then SoFi, we'll go 3 for 3. How does that work for you guys? 3 for 3 there today. SoFi, Amazon, Coinbase. And by the way, Amazon is just one of them days right now, as we wrote down 153 to get your long on that one, and it is a Dollar Club winner. So there it is right now. It's Amazon, man. We're rocking right now again. And just on this, you know, again, very, very calm down trading here today, and that's all that it takes, right? So you got to make the trades, you got to put on the shares when you believe in it, and there goes Amazon right through 153. Good trading today, excellent trading today, like it's been pretty much all year, and we're just going to keep this party going to the upside right here with some of these names.
Yeah, I mean, the upside is. It's really very specific what's going to the upside, I was about to say, because I have a bunch of charts I'm looking up here. NVIDIA down, Affirm down, Micron down. You've got Amazon, you've got Meta, you've got Google, Alphabet that are strong. I said I would get out of Mara if it showed a bounce off the pre-market low, so I covered. Whether it makes a bottom or not, it's about what I saw yesterday in the trade here off that level, and it has a bit of a positive catalyst. So we'll look to maybe short pops back into that 25 level, and I'm all about ringing the register in that opening range when we can. I kept talking about letting you guys know that Softy was making a run. This is very similar to Amazon. You've now broken through a big line here at about the 377, 378 level. This is a buy the dip scenario. Didn't think Microsoft was going to make this move. There was no reason for me to be looking at Microsoft until it made this breakout. So I am going to pivot over here. Did this with Amazon yesterday because of the trend. If it pulls back into 78, and we're holding 16.8, then I like it. I'm still hanging on to that Affirm trade. We like that one to the south side. Rivian's very close to 19 for anyone that's watching that one. Rivian at 19.15. It could make that break pretty much any second now. And Tesla, we might see that 200 period moving average. So that was at 231. This is a route where it bottomed yesterday as well.
Oh, sorry about that. Hit that a little bit too early there, but shout out to John Reinhardt. You are right, man. We now have $2 in the money on Coinbase, and it's been, like I keep saying, it's been a great day. And as we said, it depends what you're trading, of course, if you're going to be long or short, but if you just pick the right names, then you would be 3 for 3 hopefully here today as well. Coinbase, again, look at this, man, 250. I'm going to wait for 144. I mean, this bottom is 145. Like, I have a bid right now at 144.50 to get out of this. So here we go. It's not, we did it like yesterday. We had NVIDIA with a monster trade. Right now we have Coinbase. This is not, it's not $1 in the money, $2. It's not even $3 in the money. It's $3.10 now as we get to the downside. But watch out for the spread. This one's spready. I'm waiting. I want to wait for this one. Let's wait on that as we go. All right, so Coinbase, $3. Amazon, again, we only have 20% left. So I don't know. It's starting to fade back out again. We got some huge moves there. This was a great trade there for Amazon. So we are now getting ready to empty out of everything. Well, we almost are out of everything. And then SoFi, again, we still have 40% of this. It is falling back. We will look to reload this down there near the bottom. My NVIDIA bids are still at 529. I'm actually going to cancel. Actually, I'll stay there because we said that we wanted that price. But again, it's a huge move up to that 542, and now a fade right back in again. So maybe if we take VWAP, we can think about that long again for Amazon. AMD right now, still hitting lows. We talked about trying to sell some of that yesterday. That's such a key level, that 150. So you know, that's all that I trade. Yeah.
The good thing about a breakout trade, if you're looking for a stock long above a breakout price, is if it fails underneath, you're not stuck with the long position. Like, it had to have taken out that level for me to get the long. So thankfully we didn't have that. Microsoft, as I said, I'll get to Affirm in a second, but Microsoft, as I said, looking for a bit of a dip buy back into that previous pre-market top. Let's go to Adara at the desk.
Howmet Aerospace, HWM, guys, making a new lifetime high, up 3% after Truist Securities is upgrading to a buy and raising the price target. HWM, guys.
HWM.
Oh yeah, Lucid also broke that bottom, by the way. It's, yeah, I'll try to get it. I didn't have an order for it breaking the low. I'll probably try to get it on a bit of a pop. And the other name, which if you're watching the last couple of days, There was a flat bottom break on Fisker. I don't have a bid at $1, but I'm going to go ahead and throw something now down there just in case. I don't want to, if this gets to $1, I'm not missing it. Every day I do the same thing on Fisker, which is throw a bid just in case we get to that price. Look for a short as well. 122 has been a big level. Affirm, which I said I would get back to give you an idea where we think this can go. Let's get back. It just broke this low of the day. Oh, sorry, yesterday's low of the day. I think 43 was a big support level. You also had a nice close there on when it made its bottom. So I like the 43 level on Affirm to get down to. If it regains yesterday's bottoms, I probably get out on a trail. But here comes Microsoft back in. So I'm getting the dip buy there. Oh, goodness. Oh, Rivian hit 01s and turned. Dang it. Ah, well. I wasn't looking long off that level anyways. That might have been, I didn't see the size on the bid. There's a chance that Rivian 01s might have been an easy scalp trade if there was size on that bid.
All right. I don't know. Coinbase is now 350 in the money. Again, you know, we talked about this on our sticky note. It's literally the #1 idea is to go short on Coinbase. So here it is. Congratulations, John. Congratulations, everybody out there. We're in the building, and you know that's what it is right now. Again, I mean, this is happening every morning to us, man. Yesterday, you know, 2 days ago we ho-hummed a $13, $12.50 winner on NVIDIA. Yesterday we had it for $20 per share. Now we've got Coinbase top to bottom. The only problem is we did get stopped out. We did lose our first trade on Coinbase, right? But like I said, man, have faith in your own damn abilities at some point and take the trade, right? And so that's exactly what we did there with Coinbase. I may just get out of it right now because we're bouncing off these levels again. Like, why are we stopping here at 145? I have so many, you know, fish to fry here that it doesn't even, like, I don't know. I'm just going to take this. I don't understand why we're not breaking here. You know what? I was just going to cancel it. Money. Ah, well. There it is. What's up, John? Good minds think alike, I guess, there. I got out as well, but here comes 144. Nice move down for Coinbase. We just, I mean, again, guys, we're here. We just took $4 on that trade. $3.75, the biggest trade here today. Let's wait to see what happens on that. Amazon's falling back in. Watch out for this market. We're starting to break. So you're going to have to be very, very specific on these levels that you're trying to buy. It's a good trade on Coinbase. We're now out. We'll see where it goes from here. But so far, so good on that one. SoFi just fell in even more now into 25. This market's collapsing, and I don't know why, but we are going to the downside right now. Let's see if we
might break it this time.
Yeah, let's wait if we hold 16.8. I love that Rivian short. I got to get over there.
So Rivian held 01s the first time. The second time through, there's not even a lot of size on this bid here. You know, I just realized we do have, yeah, I'm on the offer. We have locates on this stock. I was about to say I didn't check to make sure, to double check that we have shorts on the stock. But the 19 level.
We do not have to pay, right?
You don't have to pay. I actually threw an order out this morning and it already checked, so we don't have to pay. 19 about to get cracked. Still holding on to Affirm. I'll get to Microsoft now that I've got my order in. I can kind of calm down. Bought the dip. The market is looking a little bit heavy as we test 16.8. And we're not at 16.8 yet. I didn't want to hold it to VWAP. I want to see us bounce off 16.8 before looking long. If I'm going to look too early, I'm going to put a tight stop on it, acknowledge that was too early on Microsoft. Affirm's at that dollar mark, and it already bounced once off 43.25. And this is the area that we thought there'd be a bit of a bottom on Affirm. So as we get to 16.8 is where I want to take it out. I took the profit on Mara. It's still pretty much at that same low. We're able to get from 25 down to 24.30. On Affirm, I'm shooting for this 43 level, but I don't want this getting back above the 50s. So any second now, Rivian's going to break that 19 level. If it holds it again, that'll be annoying. Sometimes we go long off things like this, and that can be the frustration. Like NEO at $7 has been a good long. I don't like the long here on Rivian, which probably means it might bounce a couple times before going.
Don't want to be wrong on Amazon here. All right, so we did miss a dip buy opportunity on Amazon.
I'm on the bid here.
And look, Amazon's the #1 P&L name, so it's all good, man. We love Amazon. We love Coinbase is an absolutely fantastic trade as well. But you know, P&L wise, it's going to be Amazon because we murdered it. The thing about Coinbase is we took that first hit. So otherwise, this would be the #1 stock. But again, we haven't made a trade where we're P&L red on yet. So far, so good on this. And I don't want to start right now. But Amazon, we missed that dip buy into VWAP. We talk about that all the time. We missed it. That's stupid. I feel bad about that. But at the end of the day, we're still doing what we're doing here. And that is making money, which is what matters. Okay, Palantir. Another name that I like, but not giving us too much right now. I'm still watching out for that Coinbase as it's back up to 146. I mean, that was a good out, John, and everybody out there that's trading that with me. I hope you guys made some money. I'm just looking here at Palantir. Again, aggressive move up that then faded right back. Honestly, guys, we've done enough work on Palantir to know that there's nothing here when there's nothing here. And I think you just buy dips. So those of you asking 1630, like if you think it's going to get into there, why not? But there's that bounce off 16.8 again that we called. We talked about it, that the market was going to fade back into 16.8. So we missed that Amazon, Coinbase, NVIDIA, Intel. Let's go quickly to Intel, another name that we wanted to short.
Flush.
Yeah, I mean, of course, flush. We knew this was, damn it, that 50. You know what? Like, if I wasn't so busy with doing everything here, like, I feel like I could be also like a really good swing trader as well. But I don't have enough energy to do all that. Intel up here at 50. What a great short. I feel like it got that sort of that treatment again as well, where it was really, really hyped up with some of the ideas that they were doing. And then all of a sudden, the big flush down news was that deal that they got with Israel when it was just so big that it sort of ripped it back up to the upside into this 50 area. And now the flush happens. All of these names are stories for earnings. That's the important thing. It's like you just got to wait to see if they can put up or shut up. That's the deal with all of these chip names, man. At this point, they're obviously getting blown out to the upside. Can they produce? That's the question. Okay, well, we're giving it back on SoFi. So we're just gonna I thought the upgrades would work for this name, but look at SoFi. You're just in this area. I thought we break higher and get this garbage out of here, and then we start going back up to the upside. Being long SoFi at 7 and 6, we're still fine at these levels, but at some point, people are going to start to say, uh-oh, this is a problem, and flush this thing back in here. Like, if you're long in this area, or even short, it's just come right back for you. So now it's decision time. What do you want to do? I just got longer at 15 right now. My stop is breaking through 8. I just want to give this to 8, and it'll be a monster loss, not a monster loss, but obviously we'll lose 20 cents. That's never a great thing to do that, but we're here to trade, guys. So let's wait to see if that works out now. Yeah, go ahead, hit the
new position. Was I don't have that key. Let me get that one. I want the siren. Just give me the number at some point they're favoring. It doesn't have to be right now. Uber. So sometimes things set up. There you go. They set up a little bit later.
15.14.
Look at the top on Uber, 15.14. That's actually easy to remember, 15.14.
I'll put it in the chat.
So 60.50. Yesterday's high in Uber was a great long yesterday. Today is today. Look at it break out, dip, hold previous low, now hold the same level. When I look to join the stairs to the upside, this is what I want to see. Make a bottom, make a higher low, at a key price level, so I'm into Uber. I want to make sure I tell you the reason why, because this is not something that immediately set up. It's set up after the open here. If it gets back to 61, you can see I drew a line there. So that means I like it as a resistance level. I'll show you on the daily chart in a second, but I have to get to Affirm because it looks like Affirm just trailed out for me. So you're in the gates of hell, Affirm, but you just wicked $43. That's where we put the target on, the $43 level for this reason. If it makes another push to the downside, I think it could easily see 41 if the market breaks 16.8, but I want to see if we can get something shorting a pop, maybe back into 43.5. Yesterday's high would be the secondary target. Oh, I also got into Lucid. I missed the breakdown because you said this wouldn't be a stock that it's the first thing I'm looking for. I'm going to have an order in. But then it broke, and it probably should have been the first thing. You could have just gotten 59s or something right away, or you could have got a flat bottom break at 65. The bottom is 55. This is what the stock looks like. It was a nice double bottom here at 60. This we had to pay for. No, we didn't have to pay for locates. It's Fisker that I had to pay for locates. So short here, I'll give it about 5 cents and see how far it can get to that downside. And Tesla, by the way, almost at that 50 period. So 200 period moving average on the daily. Just underneath that 231. It looks like it's trying to make the bounce. I said I would try this one to the long side off this level.
Yeah, that's the problem right now. I don't know if this market's going to bounce. Oh, man. We're trying to bounce again. I feel like some of these names have gone for their runs already here today. We just bought some Amazon at 76, so right here flat. We talked about trying to buy off VWAP. But guys, if we break 50s, which is the 50-period moving average, we're gone. Amazon's going to be the #1 stock, and I'm just going to try to see if it dips into the levels that we like better. This 200 period down here at 152, only because, and I'm talking about this and I'm in the money on the stock, but the thing is like, I'm a little bit nervous about what this market wants to do from here. So let's go. We'll just take 15 cents off that reload right now, see if it goes back up to the upside. We're making a lot of money here right now. It's going to be a good day for us. You know, despite only having 3 positions, you know, we're able to do what we want to do with these positions. And that's what it's all about, giving you guys winning ideas, winning trades. And if they don't win, they don't win. But they're ideas that we look for so that we can look to rinse and repeat all of this over and over and over again. Get bigger, get better, get more confident. You know, like here it is right here. Like we just take it. The plan is working. You know, long, you know, like we're doing stink face at these things because, yeah. I mean, here goes Amazon right back up to the upside. Give it to me, baby. I mean, there's 96, 97, take 98s. We just bought this at 76. I don't know. I mean, like if SoFi goes now, I don't even, the kind of day is, I mean, right now, look at the call on Coinbase. I mean, this name is now $5. We're out of it. We took 4, but now $5 looking to break that 144. Why did my Coinbase not trigger at 144 there? Oh man, that could have been $1. I know what happened.
You put it pre-market?
Nah, it's not. I did put it pre-market, but it's because I canceled all my orders when I got out of that trade. Okay, it doesn't matter. It might not be good anyways, but look at Amazon right now. We are absolutely Rip City right now. I hope you guys are watching, man. Like I said, often imitated, never duplicated, guys. You're rocking with the best. Let's go, Amazon. Are we going to Adara or?
Yeah, it was Adara, sorry.
Just got some economic data. Wholesale inventories month over month coming in at -0.2 versus at -0.4 previous. Exactly in line with consensus of -0.2, forecast of -0.1, so slightly lower than the forecast, in line with the consensus here for wholesale inventories month over month, guys. Market not reacting too much to this. We're still slightly positive on the day for the SPY. That kind of the look we're seeing right now, slightly positive after a really strong day on Monday, a little bit of weakness yesterday during yesterday's session. Apple here a little bit lower after getting a downgrade from Redburn Atlantic following a series of downgrades last week for Apple with a $200 price target from Redburn Atlantic. Also, a lot of these crypto stocks, including Mara, trading lower after the SEC's X account was compromised yesterday with mistakenly tweeting that there was approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF that's not been approved yet. So all of these crypto names are trading lower as a result of that snafu. Brought to you by Surge Trader, where traders can get a virtual funded trading account up to $1 million. Trade indices including the Dow, S&P, Russell, NASDAQ, oil, gold, BTC, and Forex pairs. Go to surgetrader.com/TTV and use the promo code TTV for 10% off.
Thank you very much, Adara. We'll power it up. Uber gets that nice higher low. It just got up to the 60.75 level. That's halfway to 61. I said I'd show you why we like the 61 level and my resistance line. There you go. There's the $61 level. When in doubt, zoom out. So when it had the big flush the other day on Uber, it was a 61 resistance. So I want to take this one into the 61 level. Has to get there first. The market's looking a little heavy right now. Heavy meaning weak, for anyone that's unaware of that term. We aren't looking that strong. Rivian is, I don't know how, I have a level 2 that, I just brought it up and it just broke. So Rivian, I was about to say, will not break that 19 level. It bounced twice off the level. It just carried through. Slippage is 97s on that fill. So it broke 19s. There was no 99 fill. You had to get filled at, I had to get filled at 97. Maybe you could have got a better order, but we have a good stop orders and fast stop orders here. If it cannot hold underneath, I probably take 2 shots at this because sometimes the second break is better than the first break on any kind of a stock. I would have preferred, this is exactly like a lot of the dip buys yesterday. I would have preferred to be shorting a pop. That was the initial plan on Rivian, but it never gave me the pop to short. I am in Lucid as well on that flat bottom break on Lucid. It's now at the 55 level. Every 5 cents is a thing because it's a cheap stock. So I'm going to get on the bid at 55. I'll get on the bid at 51 probably as we get that to the downside. So the shorts, I don't know what to tell you. They're working. I mean, obviously the crypto names already work to the downside. The chip, some of the chip names, specifically Micron, actually all of them are down as we speak. They've all worked. But remember 16.8 on the NASDAQ. That's where we are right now. If we hold on to this level, I think we have a chance, and you probably still need the Mag 7, Lag 7 to do some heavy lifting. Because it was Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Google that were giving us this strength. If they don't hold and 16.8 goes, these bulls are going to have to get turned around.
Yeah.
Well, for today anyways.
Whatever, I'll turn mine around. I think short today anyways, so I forgot to do that. Okay, so we just bought Amazon off that bottom again. We just got 62s, it's at 72. So this is gonna be another victory for us. I'm trying to smash Rivian with big shares. So for me, I do like that 19 break for sure, but I'm gonna play that 18, it was that very break. So we're not short yet. No, it's not on the minute chart, it's over here right now. We're trying to play this short. Oh, did it just break? No, not yet. We're trying to break that bottom right there of 1890. So we'll wait to see if that does happen right there, right now. And oh my God, we did it again and again and again on Amazon. Like, I don't know, no OB, no problem. Amazon, nice move to the upside right here. Definitely ringing the registers on this one. That, like I was saying, man, my number one, I mean, obviously my number one P&L. We haven't missed today. We've swung and we've just hit bombs. So let's just continue to do that, man, as I play with this stupid thing. There it is. Now we'll go bearish right now. I don't know. I mean, we're down. We have to still break 16.8. I mean, I'm not like, wow, I'm so bearish right now. But okay, here goes Rivian, man. We put some big boy pants on, and let's see what happens now with Rivian. If we're wrong, and we'll get out at 19, right? This sometimes will happen. You take those, those levels short, and we wait to see now what happens. Maybe give it up to like VWAP 1910, something like that, up in and around this area. We could easily be wrong, man. Rivian could turn itself around, but here we go, man. We've got a decent amount of, we've got big shares, and so let's just continue to watch out what happens here with Rivian.
Yes, sir. I just got my first bid there in front of that 90 level on Rivian. Lucid's continue to work, but Uber, that one long that we're left with, coming right back in to retest that another higher low. If it can't hold on to the 50s, look, if 16.8 goes, I probably don't want it anyways, but we need to hold on to these 50s. It's been higher lows. If it can do that again, I probably reload this trade for a second. It'll be the third time it bounces. It'll be the second time that I take a bounce. But you know what's still strong? It's Meta. Meta is pretty much, as we're at the 16.8, Meta's still holding on to the high end of the range. A bounce at 16.8, and Meta feels like this should be the long. I mean, the chart tells you that it's a strong stock. Everything about it is telling you that it's a strong stock. And the other one is going to be Alphabet as well. But I want to get back over to Affirm because it's making the bounce off 43. This is the area I thought we'd catch a bit of a turn. If we break 16.8, ideally I wanted VWAP for a re-entry into this trade, but if we break 16.8, I know I like this Affirm into said downside. So we're trying to stick to the names that we had a plan of action for. I had a plan of action for Micron. We're a ways away from where I thought we'd get the short, but I still like the short if we break the bottom. I might just have to take a baby trade in here. Like, I don't like it as much down here as I liked it up at 83 and 84, obviously. But if we can get a short, maybe breaking 82s if 16.8 goes, and try to get one of these chip names to the south side. Because that was the only fail today, is liking the weak chip names yesterday, liking them short today, and then not getting into the short. I want to rectify that if 16.8 breaks.
All right, guys. I mean, even holding this Rivian against us, man, we're still doing exactly what we want to do around here. So, so far so good. Let's just wait on that Rivian trade. A lot of what's been happening has been Amazon. So let's just wait for that. And then also SoFi needs to break through. I was going to say there's some big sizes here on the offers and whatnot. Let's see if we go. SoFi all of a sudden right back into the money again for us here on SoFi. So we could take some pieces out here. I'm already at 23 for SoFi. Oh, here we go. Oh, missed that one. So let's get some out here at 22. Let's see if we can go up Give me those 23s, man. We've been sitting here really, really patiently. We just took 21s and 22s, but the 21s was by accident. We took some 22s because we didn't get filled 23, but we do have an order there at 23, then 28, which is where VWAP lies. Maybe we put one a little, well, whatever. If we go to VWAP, we should be able to get it. There's enough shares floating through here on SoFi. So did we just get that fill? No, we did not yet. Did we get that fill? Yes, we did. Okay, so there we go. We get that fill on the swoosh up. I use, you might have heard Obi talk about gateways and things like that. You know, I've changed my style of trading for the show, but you know, I graduated reading tape and trading rebates. Now I don't do that whatsoever, but I still read tape. But it's very, very important that if you're trading, especially with Day Trade the World, like I just paid, let's just say, for example, $1.50 per 1,000 shares to get that fill. When if I'm sitting on something else like a NASDAQ or an ARC or something that actually pays you, it's just you're the last one. You get filled now, but you're just the last one in line to get filled. So, you know, paying a little bit of fees there to be able to make this trade, right, and get out at the price that you want. So again, you know, when you're using bigger shares, sometimes getting the fill at key levels is going to be important to you. Like if I only had small amount, then whatever, maybe you just, you wait for the rebate. But like if it's a level that you want to get filled at, then you do that, right? So we were long at 19s overall. I'm not thinking 5 cents is a lot, but we're running into a problem here. So we definitely want to get that fill. My Rivian reload is coming up very, very soon. We were at what? Or so Rivian, yeah, sorry, we were at 99. It went to 99, but we did not get the fill. So we'll be patient and wait to see if that happens. I told you where our out is going to be. 1910 right there on Rivian is where we'll get out.
Yes, sir. I was in and out of a break on Meta. I got triggered on the 368 break. It immediately rejected. I do prefer dip buying to breakout trades at this time of day, but you know I'm taking that shot because it's relatively strong, and I feel like it's going to be worth multiple shots here. Ideally, a dip back into VWAP would be nice, but if it never goes to VWAP, then you're never getting long. So I want to look for any kind of a dip that shows me a bid at a previous key level, so 367, maybe around number 366, VWAP, or reclaim of this high of the day. I'll take a secondary swing at it. I did get Uber on a reload, so it did put in a higher low. So there's your higher low again. Then we go long again on Uber. That was the plan. So we're going to scalp some out into the highs. I do want that 61 out. I think that's a target, and then look for a different trade above that 61 level. So, you know, this one has been holding out. 16.8 did bounce on the NASDAQ. So as long as we're above that, I still want to be looking for some longs, despite the fact that we have been favoring, I think overall, sort of favoring some shorts. The strongest name out there is Meta, so I feel like that's the one. I'm already in, I'm obviously already in Uber, but Meta's been the strongest. I think that could be the good one for the long. NVIDIA 540 I just saw. Oddly enough, we haven't talked about NVIDIA much today.
Nope. No, we're banking on everything else. I mean, that's the whole point, is that NVIDIA goes to be my #1 stock. And like I said, making more money. We're frozen, by the way.
Quotes again.
Quotes, Rob, quotes are down, quotes are back. Okay, yep, we're back. Look at the damage that's happening. Quotes just froze. We're freezing. I think we're frozen again, by the way, but we'll go bang, 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 bang on this one because look at SoFi. Huge move to the upside. We're pretty proud of that one there. If you can't tell, it's SoFi continuing to pump higher. Again, another sticky note name. I hope you guys are able to capture some of that. Rivian not working out as planned, back up to 19. And like we said, man, we're using a lot of shares on this name. So yeah, we don't need this to break too much higher above that 1910 spot, but it looks like it's trying to do that. We won't get out of everything if it breaks, but we'll get out of most of it. I put that order in for 75% of it. Again, we don't want to lose our day or anything like that because Rivian's going crazy. So we'll watch out for that trade down there. I wanted to take that break. Obviously, the 19 break was pretty smooth there, and I would have taken 10 cents. Would have been fantastic because I would have used that bottom where I got short was the bottom for Rivian, and did that on purpose. Like, I just thought this breakdown here gets us into $18. So, and I just don't want to give up on that thought yet. Look at SoFi, man. SoFi is really, man, this is, we'll raise the trophy here, but, it's going to be pending on what Rivian does. We could go from first to worst real damn quick here, and it looks like we're about to do that if Rivian just continues to go back up to the upside. But it's SoFi that has been a great long to grab down near the bottom. We wrote down here that we wanted 865 for the long. That's because if it breaks this, that's what we wanted. You know, unfortunately, we weren't patient enough, and we got that long. Actually, this was a great trade, 8:30 to 8:45. That's what started the whole SoFi run for me. Then it started to dip down. We bought small, then we bought big. And then now you're waiting to see about it. We talked about waiting for $8 to break. Well, right now you're back into 15 cents worth of profit for this name. Man, come on, Rivian. Just get down into the downside right now. We'll see what we can do.
So a couple of things here. Affirm is getting right back into VWAP. I'm trying to be patient. Oh, Meta broke again. Meta broke the high of the day again. I'll get to Affirm in a second. I'm not in position in Affirm. Affirm isn't at VWAP just yet. Did I put my stop in before? Okay, I want to give this one a little bit of room underneath 367. We got some bat stickies out there, so just watch out for that. It's the same issue as before, and it's just one gateway, so it's not that big of a deal. But Meta, the second time through, I'm willing to take 3 shots at this breakout. Call it the 3-time rule. So the high of the day, the first time was, well, I used the even dollar the first time. The second time I used the local high, which is at 08s, and I got 15s in here, so I'll risk a little bit more the second time through. Uber is working to the upside as we bounced off that 16.8 level. So now that my order's in place, I want to get something in front of 50s because that's a key price level, and I can now jump over to Affirm. So Affirm is at VWAP. I'm not just sitting at VWAP looking for a short. That's a big bounce on Affirm. I'm looking for a curl at VWAP where I can short the curl here, potential curl if it happens to make a turn. That's what I'm looking for on Affirm. So we're locked and loaded to go on this. I'm only really looking for shorts on Affirm. Obviously, if I had realized it was going to be the bottom when I got out, I would have gone long, but I didn't think that was going to be a long trade for me. Congratulations if you happen to have it. Why did I get out of Meta?
48.50. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
3 times the charm for Meta, you were saying, or what? Because that's.
I'm gonna move a 1-minute chart.
Yeah, that's a rocket ship, man. That stupid stock. Okay, just going over to AMD. AMD almost got to the level that we could start shorting it. It almost got back to VWAP. So AMD 148, I think is going to be a good. Again, I think. I mean, I don't. You know, like these are just opinions, obviously, that I'm giving here. All right. We have really a lot here on SoFi today. This has been fantastic on SoFi. I don't even have any. I mean, what is this? The 200 period? Like now, from going from top here right back in. I mean, this is going to be anybody that bought down here with me. Let's just punch some more out. I just punched them out at 29s. They're actually 30s. And then we are waiting for a higher as well. I'm going to punch out a little bit more. At 29, there it is. We keep running into these dark pools, but we are punching out more and more, as you guys can probably see. Let's just put an offer where we're really close. That top was $32. I'll put another offer here at 30. Put one at 34. And then see if that breaks higher. But yeah, we're just slowly getting out of this one. We have about 40% left. So we've done really well. Normally I'm out of like more than this at this point. So that's what's making me a little bit nervous. We'll run into some more there. I'll keep punching out. I'll sit at 30, sit at 31, see if we get that fill as well. Amazon is still the king of the castle, but don't worry, you are not that dirty rascal. It's just a matter of taking profit where profit lies. There's Amazon right back up to the upside. The number one P&L name for me is still Amazon, but SoFi is it. But SoFi is unrealized because I still got a lot of that on. And we are just slowly getting out of Amazon again. A couple, 3 times, like Neil mentioned, 3 times the charm. 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins. And we have another one in here too because we actually have the 153 break. So it's actually 4 trades long on Amazon right now. But it's, honestly, this Rivian is really starting to bug me. It's just hovering, a little bit of a down move. Look at this market. The market's a rocket ship right now off of that. Remember we said, wow, the market's going to go down to that 16.8. You know what the bottom was? 16.802. So there it goes, man.
Had a long off that bottom.
Exactly. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? And that's what I mean. Like we could sit here and talk about it. You could see the trades that we have on.
Well, I've gone 3. I've got like, well, yeah. I'm in the 3rd one on Meta. So 3rd time at that 68 level. I am in Uber. Like I bought Uber on a higher low, but that was a name that I was already in. When I said I was looking for a new long, like a long that I wasn't already in, is what I'm sort of getting at there. Something we hadn't talked about. Very quickly, I did get that Affirm. Firm into VWAP. There's the wick. Kind of my chart quick here. There is the wick above VWAP, and then the rejection. There is the under trade. It ends up being like 53s right underneath. So I wait for the failure. You got to be patient with that kind of a trade. You don't have to be, but I just prefer to be patient with it because it's a rocket ship up. Look to scalp out into the previous support, which is that same 30 level, and see how far it can go to said downside. Lucid's not really doing much. I got out of Rivian, by the way. Like I got a Rivian at that 05. If it gets to VWAP, I'll put another trade on. I tried the reload on there. I actually moved to 98 when 99 didn't fill. So that's where I reloaded and I'm out. So the breakdown doesn't work on Rivian. It is working on Lucid, but Lucid, slow grind. Now look at 355. If 355 holds all day on Lucid, I might take a break of the 355 level. And when I say all day, let's just say if it holds for another 30 minutes or so, if it holds for a long time. Obviously, if it holds all day, I can't hold this trade overnight. But if it does hold this long enough, I would short the barcode break on Lucid at 355 here. I think it gets to 350 if it breaks that level. And I know there's obviously a lot of big names moving around a bit. One of them is probably going to get talked about in a minute with Adara, but that's Sana, whatever this thing is. It's already halted once. I suspect it is going to halt again if it takes out this top. So up 68%, low float runner du jour. And the daily chart isn't a heaping pile of you know what. It actually doesn't look all that bad.
What was your out on Rivian? 05 break? Was that what it was? Because I was thinking about something similar.
Yeah, I actually.
05. Okay, I just
want to make sure where I got out. I think I got 6s.
Okay, I just wanted to see where people were thinking because
actually,
I'm getting a little bit nervous.
I got 5.5.
About that. 5 halves? Okay, that's good. Better than 6. All right, right there. I told you, there's a lot of half prints going on, so that makes sense to me. That's a good look. Always better to save half a cent. All right, so right here, Unity. We thought this could happen yesterday, Kathy.
She was buying yesterday.
Yeah, well, not enough. Today, apparently, she's back in right now. We traded Unity yesterday to the ground, and it was bad. And, you know, if Kathy Wood's buying yesterday, Bob's your uncle, because, you know, it just kept on falling down, baby. So if she bought yesterday, probably in around this 36, nice average cost. Let's see what happens. I mean, this has been in her flagship for a long time, so we'll wait to see what happens with Unity. But yeah, man, this could be another one to the upside right there for UNITY, Unity, dropping down. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's UNITY.
That was
but okay, so right now, this is getting close, man. Like this $38 is right here. You know, it's just, we have a little ways to go before we get anywhere near $38. So we'll watch out for that on Unity. But yeah, good look. Thank you to everybody in the chat that's talking a little bit about that one right there. We did rinse out of our, not rinse out, but we got out of our, some of our Amazon up here at O's. I'm actually waiting for 25s. Let's see if this one can go. SoFi continues to do what it's doing, but you could see, look at all of, are we waiting for Adara, by the way? Okay, I don't think I've been hearing any of those calls, but right now I don't think we've had one. Right, good. Okay, good. So my hearing is still good, despite what my wife says. What was that, Marissa? Didn't catch that. Yeah. All right, 832 right now. Let's just figure that out. SoFi continues to go up to the upside, and my next offer is at 834. I'm going to go get another coffee as we throw it over to Adara and the small cap recap. See you soon.
Neil just mentioning this first one here, Sana, S-A-N-A is the ticker for this one. Sana Biotechnology. Didn't see any news on this one from today, but on Friday they announced FDA clearance for a drug application, so keep an eye on S-A-N-A. Really strong on the day. We did halt earlier today, but looking good as of right now. We also have GoodRx, GDRX is the ticker for this one, announcing its preliminary revenue for Q4. Last but not least, we have SATS is the ticker for EchoStar Corporation, completing its merger with Dish, and then also announcing that Dish has received a $50 million grant from the U.S. Department of Commerce. Really good look on small caps today, guys.
There, Adara and Sean, as he's going to get a coffee. He said he was going to get a coffee. I love it's actually perfect. It's almost perfectly lined up, like where he comes in. It looks real. You guys know it's a green screen. We're not trying to fool anybody with that. But no, don't give me the what. Come on, everyone's smart enough to realize that. Someone just told me that Oxy's in the Buffett zone, so I'm just gonna throw this out there because it's true. This time, I only own Chevron and then some Canadian energy names, but this time I actually want to put something on in the personal account down here underneath 56. If it gets there, that's a big if. When in doubt, rinse and repeat. But I want to get to show something on Meta here first, because I'll tell you, when I say I'm taking 3 swings at something, and when I say I'm going to, if a breakout doesn't work right away, that's it. Once, twice, thrice. I will take 3 hits on Meta, and it'll be 1/6 of what we'll make on one push on NVIDIA. So like the thing about winning and losing in trading is it's not necessarily about whether you win or lose. It's about how much you lose when you're wrong. So I can lose 3 times on a breakout trade, just as an example, and one NVIDIA breakout, which worked a couple of days ago, like a clean breakout trade, that's going to pay off 3x, 5x, something better than 3x. In this particular case, it's actually 6x. And that's what it is. It's risk to reward. On a dip buy, it's a different trade. I want to look for higher lows, all that good stuff, which is exactly what we're getting in Uber. Sometimes things work to plan. When a stock works to plan, it's easy. When a stock doesn't work for you, you've got to make sure that one thing doesn't turn into a big mistake and then exacerbate that by fighting a stock that isn't working. So Uber, higher lows all the way through. Once identified, buy dip, higher. Makes another higher low, buy dip. Take it to the next level. Now we're into the top. I'm holding for a top break at that 61. And then maybe it sets up for more longs above that 61 level. This is the idea that you're going for. If you want to ring registers, if you want to get the power up. Do not fight weak stocks. Go long and try to find more longs in strong stocks. Short weak stocks if you can. When they trend down, look for re-entries into those shorts. If they happen to be like Lucids, then they might sit around doing nothing for a while. Sometimes it's a little bit more active, like we were just showing there with a firm. In a few minutes, we are going to get crude oil there. And C-Row, I just see you shouting out about Peloton. If that's breaking lower again, Peloton. This one, look at the failed breakout on Peloton. Obviously excited. The day it broke this level, it was a big move to the upside. It was a great long that day. But since then, Peloton has been rejecting 2 days in a row. You could easily get back to the $5 level with what's going on in Peloton today. I'm trying to see if I find a trade here because it's a relatively weak name and it just flat bottom. Not a flat bottom broke, but it broke yesterday's lows at that $6 level. Let's see how it responds to 6. You saw what just happened in Rivian. Like Rivian went, and the first time through, okay, good, reload, no good. Might be a second time play here in Rivian. I don't want to be trying, I'm already in Lucid, we like a firm. I don't want to be trying to add Peloton to that list if Rivian is giving a similar setup. It's like stick to the one that you were on anyways if it's the same type of setup.
Laugh at that. That was fun, man. Going into that spot. Okay. SoFi, as we're back, we got the coffee, so shout out to everybody out there who is part of Coffee Nation. We do have Hydration Nation as well, but you don't barbecue up coffee, but you barbecue up some wins. There's SoFi making the move back up to the upside, so we definitely like that one. Oh, we missed it yesterday. Adair's doing a fantastic job, but everyone's favorite segment is about to happen right now. It is what is for lunch. So let's find out what is for lunch. Yesterday was very produced meatballs, and that was really good. Not really. It wasn't bad. I was saying to Branko, I was like, you know when you get those like those IKEA meatballs that are really 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 like not natural?
No, I don't like those.
Like anyways, those were there yesterday.
Costco ones?
We don't buy meatballs. We just make them because that's what we do. Today, though, if you are like, you know what, yesterday wasn't chicken, right? So why would today be chicken? Like we never have chicken around here. But today's menu, of course, is
chicken.
Grilled pea meal. Good. Hot house tomato and vintage cheddar in a sandwich with Dijon mustard and Cajun roasted sweet potato wedges.
You had me at Dijon mustard.
The chat is going crazier more now than it's been all day. So I guess you guys do like this. So pea meal, again, like a heavier bacon. That's real nice. A nice piece of ham up on there. My wife yesterday made this great shepherd's pie. But we found out that shepherd's pie had beef in it with some sprinkles of bacon, which is kind of strange, but it actually tasted really good. That's called cottage pie. Shepherd's pie is with lamb.
Yeah.
Hence shepherd. So we had cottage pie, which I've never used that terminology before, but was corrected yesterday with that. And that was absolutely fantastic. And instead of, it had potato crust on the top layer, but it was potato as well as cauliflower. So it was cauliflower, potato mixed in there, adding that little bit of sweetness. That was really good. And I always know it's a good meal when my kids literally just annihilate it and like that kind of stuff. So that's good. Shout out to my wife who cooks homemade meals pretty much every single night, and they are absolutely fantastic. So, and you should see my kids' lunches, what they take. She actually made these banana chocolate chip muffins last night, and they're all, because she's like on this big paleo kick and everything, so they're all about that. And yeah, the kids are just loving everything right now, which is great. I mean, as they get older, hopefully their taste buds are
expand those palates
better. Stop with the cauliflower. Yeah, you know, the night before that we had roasted cauliflower, and that was pretty good.
I don't mind cauliflower. It's how it's done that'll matter.
Yeah,
like I love the buffalo, like the buffalo seasoning.
Yeah, exactly. When you bake them up.
That's delicious.
Rivian went below 19.
There's a good question here. Someone said, why like the Rivian short? It doesn't seem like there's much room. I get that it's at, the thing about a big level is it's a big level. It's at a big level. It's been trend down into this level until it shows me that it's bouncing off of here, which to me would be above like 10s. If it's going to make a move to 1950 or 1910, I want to give it a shot to fall all over itself. So I am looking short for that to bottom breakdown. I've done that before. We sat in Intel when it's done that same kind of a move, and you're looking for that big push down, scalps them out. But until it gets above, I've now have my stop here at 7s. I'm giving it tight stops. And if it breaks out from 10s, hey, it could turn into a long above VWAP. Perfectly willing to acknowledge that if it's going to be strong. A firm, I don't know if I reload this again. The market is, let me just show you what that NASDAQ is doing. The market's doing this off of 16.8. So if we bust out the highs, reloading the short a third time on a firm indiscriminately is not the way to go. Not the way that you preserve a morning. If it turns here, great. I'll look for a little bit more market weakness for an entry there. I'm holding on to this for the 43. The long that we do have is going to be Uber. That's busted through the $61 level, so it's completely arrows up. And this is very similar to Amazon yesterday. I didn't have the early breakout on the stock, but I knew the levels. I knew the levels that we're looking for. It broke out that top, then it started supporting it with higher lows. So that's how you join a trend. The trend is your friend. It is so much easier to join the trend than to fight the trend, if at all possible here. Manuel's letting us know, or letting you know, well, us, I guess, because we're both looking at it, that Palantir is taking out the top. But right now, we're going to the desk with crypto and Adara.
Always lots to talk about lately with regards to crypto and Bitcoin, mainly that tweet from yesterday issued by the SEC initially saying that there is spot Bitcoin ETF approval, and then a couple minutes later, the SEC saying that's not the case, it was breached. This whole snafu caused $90 million in Bitcoin liquidations. This is an article from CoinDesk here. Spiked to 47.6 and then fell as low as 45.4 immediately off that news. So definitely something worth noting. Also, just seeing here that the CNBC, CNBC is saying that the decision for the spot Bitcoin ETF is likely to come today. That's just their reporting, so I'll have to stay tuned for that. Could be another very big day for crypto. In terms of Bitcoin itself right now, we were actually trading below that 45 area. Now we're back above 45, just barely. We're at 45, just below that 45.2 level for Bitcoin. Ethereum, very strong, up about 7%, so above this 2,400 area. The rest of the cryptocurrencies are pretty mixed, but mostly negative. Solana notably down about 6.5%, and Cardano down about 2% right now, guys.
Cardano, eh?
All pulling back.
All right. Yeah, we are, I say that because Cardano's the heaviest altcoin that I own. And so we like to hear when that's going up.
You have more Cardano than Ethereum?
I have a lot of Cardano.
Oh, okay.
Let's put it that way. I've cashed out of a lot. Yeah, I've cashed out of a lot of my Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, but as far as individual actual holdings on crypto, yeah, because again, I have some of the ETFs, right? So, okay, nice move up here for SoFi. SoFi, so good. Right there will be my number one stock again is going to be Amazon, but we're still in that one. Let's see where SoFi goes. And then honestly, man, we're getting closer and closer to just like throwing out Rivian. I mean, we just keep on coming up to these levels, and it's not, so it came back in there. The problem is this trade. We put on our biggest position right there at the bottom because we thought momentum would carry the day through. But, when we made that bottom was at 10.05. It was right here. The market made the bottom at 10.05. That's when this broke lower. You know, so the market is definitely weighing on me here with Rivian not making that move back in. So I don't really want to take anything out, but I'll take out 10% if it gets back to 902. Just because last time we broke and the most we went to was 98s there. Like you guys know, I have more shares on this, not more than I'd want, but it is more than I want because I didn't think we'd be averaging back into this one. And then whenever I told you this, whenever you're saying like, oh, I really hope this works out, that's hopium is not something that a confident trader will have. So do I hope it comes down? Yes. Am I confident in this position? No. So that's what I'm getting at. And, we're looks like we will take a swing and a miss on this one and wind up, where's Coinbase right now? Okay. So it's kind of, again, that 144 was a level that we wrote down. It's been dead on as far as a level. The only time it broke was the time that we should have got short, but I didn't have the stop order in, and it went down to 143.18s. I probably would have been at a half, then broke out again if it went down to the downside, then if it went back up. So Coinbase today, definitely not as much money on this as it's still a great stock, but not as much as I thought that we would have made because we did get that first stop out when it broke through 150, and all we had to do was hold it 40 more cents or 30 more cents, but we didn't. But then revenge is a dish best served cold, and we got that right there on Coinbase as it comes back to the downside. And man, we are now rocking because my net, even though Rivian just came back down to O's, the net is just rocketing up because we just made 7 cents because it was up there at 1908 and then it just came back down. So we do take a piece out. I am now waiting. Look at it just refusing to break 01s there. Go, man. I'm bidding O's to get one more out. Maybe I'll just take an 01 fill. Break it. There we go. Now let's go to the downside on Rivian. My average price when the start of this all happened was 92s. So we are taking hits here on Rivian, but I'm also trying to get, there we go. So we just got swooshed down there a little bit, got some O's out. Yes, saved a little bit there by Tesla. Oh, Miss A? I know, I'll go to Adair. We got people in the chat here. Miss A, it's right here. It's go to @TraderTV Sean, and you'll find what you're looking for those list of BTC names. What's up, Adair?
Yeah, we have another low float small cap runner here. AMPE is the ticker. It's on the Amex. Ampio Pharmaceuticals, not seeing any news on this one, but it does have a float of about 800,000 shares. So very low float runner here, AMPE.
That one is amped up.
That stock is amped.
I was absolutely expecting Adair to have that pun, so I'm just going to say it anyway.
Yeah, good one.
You'll see me into Meta again. It wasn't that funny. It was just low-hanging fruit, man. We like low-hanging fruit around here. So Meta, it's hard to see here because obviously look at the move on Meta earlier. So as Meta got back into 367, look at it make the higher low. So what I was doing in Uber, we're taking breakouts in Meta. In Uber, we're taking higher lows. Well, that should have been right in here at 66.5. When it broke 37 here, got into the trade, giving it back into the 75 level. I want to get some out. If 68 is going to fail 3 times on a breakout, am I going to get some out in front of 68? The answer is yes. That was a bit of a rhetorical question. I suppose it was not that rhetorical. Lucid made another breakdown. I didn't get that 55, like an ad at 55. Didn't really barcode long enough to do that, but we're still in the short. Lucid has been gently falling to the downside pretty much forever. I said I would not reload a firm indiscriminately there at VWAP a third time, and it broke out this little tie. Kind of tightened my stop up here when it came up, and I decided not to elect it, just saving myself like an extra 5 cents or so. But that was a plan of action for a firm. If it fails VWAP and the market shows weakness and pulls back in, I think I take another swing at this, but it is time to be patient. Uber is continuing to go here. It just got parabolic. I thought if we broke 61, there might be some kind of a sideways move to get an extra long in there, but it did not happen. So we zoom out to daily chart. That's 62.40. If you look at that recent double bottom, there we go. 62.40, right in about here is where it flushed. That was actually the last trading day of the year. So it made a top at 63, a lower high. The opening range would have been 62.40 that particular day. So I think that's where we could get to. I don't think I hold it to that level, but I think it can get to that level if the market were to break the top. I'm shooting for 61.5 in here and trying to look to add to it above 61 even.
Yeah, good trade there on Uber. We do like that name. I feel like the hangover is over with that one being added. So now you can probably just buy that one. And I still like Uber. I did sell some of it at 62, 63, but timing the market is a bitch because it's almost impossible,
Well, it is impossible
to get back in. Like, like you're waiting for it to fall down and then you don't. But I'm still in it. It's just, I told you guys we've been raising some cash. All right. So talk about raising cash. We just got more outs here at 39 again for SoFi, and I'm waiting for 40s. The problem is, if you look over here, SoFi is this is a 20-minute chart. We talked about the 50-period moving average on this, and it's just bouncing its head off of it as it's still curving down. So SoFi's, had a rough ride over the last couple weeks, or last week, I guess, and it's just basing out right here. So obviously that long that we have down here at 815 was such an easy long to get into because we had support. It was the early trade that we we made money on. We made 15 cents on this, but then we did hold probably about half. And then we probably put that half back on, then put on the big boy down there because we had 8 support. So when it comes back up, we should start to take some more outs up there. The other trade that I've been in all damn day, and it's been great, it's just, come on, man, we just got to start getting some out. Next time this thing goes back up into the 80s, 90s, high 80s, let's do high 80s. Right now, we're going to take it out. The 50 period is here, the 21 period is here, and VWAP is here, and we're underneath all of them. Sorry, the 200's there, we're not underneath the 200. The 50, the 20, and the VWAP, we're underneath on Amazon. It's not a long when you're underneath all these things. So here we go. We just said we put one. Well, I put it at 87. Oh no, cancel. Where is it? I don't want to cancel my other one. All right, there it is. So there it is. We just took it out right there at 85 or 86. You saw me take that as soon as I could. So there it is right now. Let's watch out what's going on with that right now. Okay, what else you guys want to talk about? Tesla maybe is always on watch. We will talk about sector watch in just 1 second. I just want to see what Tesla was up to. Okay, so before we talk about Tesla, Intel is now in the pocket. So new position alert. We have Intel right now off VWAP, so it's not quite there yet. We'll short more. We like the short in Intel. Obviously, the market's going to have to fail. Trade the weak names. This one is in the pocket. We're comfortable with this. Oh, we just got more short. So, okay, now we're short 27s on Intel. We're trying to work this name up to this area right here, 47.40. So that's going to be my out for Intel. Let's see if we're right or not, and let's go over to Adara at the screen again.
Just be aware, CNBC reporting right now on the Boeing 737 MAX investigation, so just keep an eye on that. Boeing actually slightly positive today in a sector that's mostly negative, electronic technology, NVDA continuing its run to the upside, but all these other chip names a bit weaker. A little bit stronger for technology services, with Meta up after a price target increase from Mizuho to 470, making it the highest price target on Wall Street for this stock. Health technology a bit strong. Eli Lilly up yesterday after market close. The CEO saying that Mounjaro looks to be strong going into 2024 for sales. Finance a bit more mixed to weak. Producer manufacturing a bit more weak. Consumer durables, energy, minerals all a little bit more to the downside. But we do have a lot of strength in retail trade, led by Amazon, with some job cuts reported in Amazon Prime, and also their streaming subsidiary Twitch reported to be down. Reported to be cutting some jobs there by about 35%, according to Bloomberg. So keep an eye on retail trade, guys.
Thank you very much there, Adara. And Affirm is all the way back at 44. It's a big move off lows. Now $1.40 off of the bottom. Elected not to refill the trade at VWAP. It was a good kind of failed entry there. Scalp most of it out and then don't reload the trade. But the 44 level, the opening range, the opening high was at 44.5. That's what we shorted originally. The lower high was there at 44.25. So I look to the lower high first and then the top as well. This is where I want to work at. When you get back into that key price level, obviously the market is screaming into the upside right now. All we got is Uber to the long side, which, that's still going to the upside pretty strongly. I have a trailing stop on that one, but I'd also like to add if it gets all the way to 61. I think Affirm is going to be the next trade for me on a bit of a curl, but I did want to acknowledge that Mara is also at $25. I feel a little bit better about Affirm short than Mara short just because of the catalyst that Mara has. To get all the way back up to the top here today, I don't have to worry about a positive catalyst with Affirm. you do have to kind of worry about that with Mara. So I'd much rather be shorting the key level. It's about the same idea. Like we like the short area on Mara at the open, but Affirm, I'd rather go that well as the market is screaming into these highs.
Yeah, I had Affirm at 45.85, but that's obviously not coming through. Look at Intel starting to go back up to the upside. It's all good. It's not all good. I mean, we want it to go down. Rivian, we took an 01 fill again. We're just trying to like piece it out. We've made a lot of money on other names. We can afford to have an L on Rivian, and I'd just rather not have the full L if it does take the top, because look at this freaking market, man. Screaming right now, taking out pre-market highs. Well, kind of. I mean, we already took out the pre-market highs. We got to get up here to really start to go. But it's these levels that we just made in the first 10 minutes. We are now above. So all of the longs are now well in play. SoFi is ripping. I mean, look, we got that Amazon fill. You all saw that. And now it's starting to go back up to the upside. So as things are starting to change now, we got to be very, very careful. Look at Intel, man. Intel screaming back up to the upside. It doesn't look like these shorts are going to be right here today, not as the market takes out highs. So be very, very careful. We're short at 31 here on Intel, and we're short at 19. I wish. Rivian's at 1910 right now. We're short right down here at 1890. So the short's not paying off right now, not at all. Watch out for 4750 to break here on Intel. But that's happening here. You know.
Oh, you got them.
Yeah. Yeah, I can take it, although I'm in a little bit of trouble here with Intel, but I'll figure this out. Look, no, it's okay, whatever. I do many things at once here. 47.52 is going to be my out there for Intel. But if you're wondering what the heck is this guy doing with this stuff on the screen, this is what we're doing. There's a campus program, and it's starting ASAP. This is your chance to trade real money and learn on the same platform that we do. So you can come over here. We have over 60 markets worldwide. It's available for the lovely residents of Canada, and you have to apply immediately. I told everybody last time that this was going to fill up. It filled up probably in the third time that I said this. This is the third time I'm saying it right now. It's February 5th. That's not that far away. If you're watching us and you want to be part of it, come through, man. It's learning it. You sit down with like-minded individuals. It's a course. It's online. It's completely free, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. We know the people in charge of this program. Get it kicked off today, February 5th. There's many people, even in our chat right now, that are part of this program. Shout out to D-Loaf and some of you other characters in there. But you can go live. That's the whole point. Absolutely cost you absolutely nothing. There's other platforms out there that charge you a deposit or whatever. This is an absolutely free program. The question is, do you have what it takes to become successful at trading? So a little dramatic there, but as you can see, it says right here on the sheet, do you have what it takes? Not only do we like that, it says it twice.
That's the key.
Once, twice.
You got to say it twice.
So we'll find out, and that's the best part about trading is the stats are your friend, man. You know, you'll know if you have what it takes real early. And Intel has what it takes going up, not going down. It looks like Intel's about to rip up here and take out that 4750. So we're not going to average back into this one. This looks like it will be a 20-cent hit. And then Rivian's kind of just stone cold chilling. It's SoFi right now that just continues to make moves to the upside. And what a great, I just tweeted this out. It's always a good day when you're going long and it's a V-shaped recovery and you have the tip of that V. The bottom of the V, and now the tip of that V. So yeah, man, I mean, SoFi just continues to work out. Amazon right now, that's gonna be a monster as well. So we have a couple monster trades and a couple bad ones with Intel and Rivian. Rivian story's not done. I feel like Intel's might be though. It's really starting to get aggressive to the upside and probably following its friends. AMD, yeah, AMD broke above VWAP, that's gone.
NVIDIA's at yesterday's high.
NVIDIA.
Oh, actually, check that.
Wow,
check that. NVIDIA broke yesterday's high. 550, maybe today. At this rate, if we take out yesterday's, if we take out 69, we'll see that 15.
That pisses me off.
We'll see that 550. That was it's wild. It is what it is. And my biggest regret in the chips isn't going to be missing NVIDIA long. It'll be missing Micron short at the open. We'll get to that in a second. But I just had it, and then I got on a tangent there. The new position alert, which was waiting for a firm to give me a curl. If it had made the same wick here at 44 quarters, then I would have put the short on there. But it got right back into the previous high. There's your wick into the previous high. There is the short. I want to scalp from at this point. I'm thinking at best VWAP to 43.8, man. Like that's a strong recovery to the upside. That is an upward trending stock. So to me, there's no way I'm anticipating this move to be as good as the shorts this morning. It is to try to take a win. Like your big short is off the open, and then you just take your little pot shots to add to it on this bit of a curl here on a firm. And why are they holding 44.20? Because the market is ironic sometimes. So they were holding 44.20 there. So I just got some out there. Firm, wait for your key prices. I have a trail underneath 61.2 here on Uber, because if we do fail these tops, I want to make sure we lock in that profit, and I'll look for the dip buy down around the 61 area on Uber. So that one has been absolutely fantastic, and props to everybody that yesterday, I mean, I'm going to credit the chat. Actually, it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago. I want to credit the chat for yelling about the bottom on Uber yesterday, and then it gave this consolidation, and then broke out, which you were able to take yesterday. And then what did it do? Again, same consolidation at the top, and then it breaks out again today. Give me a break. Sometimes the market likes to mirror itself, if that's the right form. And your job as a trader is to see the patterns and then take the pattern entries. You know, like that's what you're just looking to repeat patterns if you can. Sometimes it's the day after, NVIDIA 2 days in a row. Sometimes it's a week later. Sometimes it's a month later. You got to be around, though, to make sure that you're able to take those trades. So as I said with the firm, this market was screaming up. This stock was definitely screaming into this level. They were holding 44.20 for whatever reason. I didn't care what that reason was. I took some profits there. If it breaks out the high, I'm out of this one. It has to be a scalp trade as strong as the stock is going to the upside. Adam DeLuz says you're welcome, so thank you. It's not just to you, Adam, it's to everybody, but thank you, Adam. It actually, there's a good chance it was you, because you say it all the time. Talk about the names that are moving, because we're interested. We're not going to deviate from our plan, but if it fits a plan, then you want to have that one noticed so that you can jump in and take advantage of it. So the last exit will probably be a hit on a firm, but that's okay. We took our profit. It's been a good short, but you have to know when to give it up sometimes. I'm asking myself, am I taking a 545 on NVIDIA? There goes a firm. That just came out. So that might be the last time I short this stock, unless it's making lower highs. Right? Like we shorted it as it was coming back in, and because it was a key level, we did it again at a key level. I don't think I short this again unless it's making lower highs. It's a little bit strong. NVIDIA 545, high of the day. I don't know if I like the breakouts at 11 o'clock though.
Yeah, we're short a firm rate here right now. We'll see if it works. Intel, big time fail, man. That did not work at all on that top side. We still have 25% of it. Hopefully it will come back in. But yeah, with this market going higher and higher and higher, it's like, man, we talk about shorting the right names versus the wrong names. Yeah, the chip names today. I thought NVIDIA was in trouble. I even stopped looking at this thing. But it is not in trouble at all. NVIDIA just keeps on marching higher. And I'm embarrassed about it because we should have the long. It bounced off the 50 period like 3, 4, 5, 10 times, like ridiculous. That definitely should have been in the pocket for me. That's NVIDIA. So a definite missed opportunity on that one. We'll still look to short around 550, but wow, NVIDIA definitely having a run. But look at SoFi. I don't even talk about a saving grace today with SoFi. Like if that kept on going to the downside, we would have been negative real bad, real early, and that's not good. And it bounced huge back up to the upside. So we definitely like that trade there on SoFi. Let's be patient with this Affirm and see what happens and go over to the desk with it there. Oh, it's already 10:51. It's Money Talks.
Not too much going on with the DXY right now. Slightly down in the day. We've definitely been chopping and churning around this 102 to 102.50 area for the last couple days of trading. Not much of a difference here. We did get some economic data earlier today. USA wholesale inventories month over month for November. Not too much to talk about here. Negative 0.2 actual versus negative 0.2 expected. But we do have some big economic data coming up tomorrow and Friday. Tomorrow we have CPI. Friday we have PPI. So keep an eye on those with regards to the USD. Also worth noting, some economic news coming out of England with the Bank of England's Governor Bailey speaking on Wednesday about mortgage rates and saying not commenting on monetary policy quite yet, but we did get a nice little boost there for the British pound versus the USD today, seeing a nice movement to the upside off of that, guys.
So I missed this one. By the way, 545 did break on NVIDIA. I elected not to take it. It got 10 cents and it's pulling back a little bit here. But new position is not in yet, but I'm probably
So crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a baby fill on Micron because I might have missed that turn. I'm gonna give myself some room by taking about a third because I should have this here at 75 instead. Oh, I want to zoom out here to show you why. Why am I shorting a stock that's up this much? Micron was this was the stock that I liked the best short. Firm probably even followed this one because of the weakness we saw yesterday in the afternoon. It was a chip name that couldn't get out of its way. Double bottom was here at 83. The consolidation off the open, if you want to even call it that, at 9:30 was right off the 83 level. So this is where I wanted to see it make a top. It just so happens, I mean, NVIDIA's at 545 is a bit of a coincidence. That just actually gives you a little bit more confluence for that trade. So I'll be in, baby, but I might have missed an opportunity here up at the 80 level to get a better short. VWAP is always the retracement when against the grain, and that trend is to the upside. So I'm shooting for VWAP here on Micron. We didn't get it early. We got it now. I want to go back and just refresh what's going on with Lucid. Lucid, for anybody that's watching in the afternoon show, we're asked about this flat bottom break on Lucid. I said, okay, great, but just understand that it's not like when it goes up and it has a big parabolic day, those are the huge retracement days after it's gone to the upside. When it's breaking down, it gives you some nice controlled movement that it just kind of grinds to the downside. So at no point was I expecting Lucid to go from $3.60 to $3 today. But just looking for a nice little scalp trade once it broke the low, find a consolidation, it bounces, makes a top, short the top, and then sit in it is the plan for Lucid. And Uber, I got the trail on, but that one is flying nicely here. So the new position for me is against the grain, at least against like the recent grain on Micron here. Look to scalp it. First 82.5, because that was this level here, and then down into VWAP. We'll get it out on Micron. I wanted to get, before we go back to you, Sean, I know we haven't talked about Alibaba, but because it has a chance to break those lows, still like 70 on Alibaba. We talk about double bottoms all the time. So that's 70 on the daily chart going back to December. If it breaks this bottom, I think it sees that 70 level again. It's support till it's not. And it hasn't really broken that level yet.
We do not have Sharif today, but we do got Amazon. Amazon now, we have Obi coming through. We're $1 in the money on this Amazon trade. Amazon is going to be my #1 stock today to trade, and it's been real good, man. Buying these dips in Amazon, there it goes, right up to the upside. Let's try to hold on to that. The stock that can go definitely into, bless you, into the gates of hell is Intel. I know a lot of you got stopped out there. So did I. We bought back a little bit. We didn't buy back everything. We are not going to be green on this name. I mean, hopefully we will, but it's got to get back into these lows. Let's see if the market fades off right now back down. You know what, like if NVIDIA fades off that 550 like we had mentioned, then obviously Intel should fade with it. But, you know, trading these two against each other has been a tricky one so far there today for sure. Did I just get into something? No, I did not, so that's good. SoFi back to 50. We're getting some out up there, so I kind of like that, Phil. Let's see where that goes from now. But yeah, it's a firm we're waiting on right now. We're short a firm. That did go in the money, but not enough. We're going to wait for that for a bigger fill. Intel, we're waiting. We just got 34s on Intel. Shit, man, this could have been like, if we just don't get stopped out there, this is a pretty good trade. I still like the trade, but again, less shares on board now than we did have, that's for sure. Let's see if the futures, not that we called it, but we knew that 16.8 would be a problem. So let's see if 16.9's a problem. If this market falls down in, man, we're going to have 99 problems. But shorts aren't one because we've got a firm right now, we've got Intel, and we've got Rivian. I like all of those shorts, just the market has to participate. I mean, I only look at, I've stopped looking at the ES, although today they're pretty equal. Most of the names I trade, and we destroyed the banks the other day, but or just Citigroup, most of the names that we'll trade will be NASDAQ related. So that is the why I always talk about the crack that is NASDAQ.
The NAS crack.
Yeah.
There was an old trader that used to always call it that. You know what, I actually don't remember. It might have been Debo. But I'm going to show you something here because Sean's in Intel and I'm in Micron, but I think the premise is the same. These are different charts. I'm covering it up so you can't really see. It's Micron, but that's Intel on a 3-minute. and that's Micron on a 3-minute. Notice the similarity there. And why short these two names? And I think it's, not to speak for Sean, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Micron was down yesterday when the chips were up, and Intel was down in week yesterday when the chips were up and closed on the lows. So I think that's what you look for: short, relatively weak names, and look to take those shots in them when you can. That's what it's all about. Fisker is at 110. Rivian. Jason says, 110 isn't one. Let me cancel this order. I don't need an offer. So when Fisker broke 120, I tried to get 120s. Obviously at the open, I'm not going to get that fill, so I can cancel it now. But it is now within spitting distance of $1. All roads are leading to $1. It seems like that's going to be the case. Why do I like the dollar bid? Because I'm expecting there to be a few million shares, and I want to try to scalp it. And if it gets from 1 to 110 to 115, I'd be perfectly happy with that bounce. I have a small order at 3 just to make sure I don't miss it, and then we'll work from there. So I don't think I put a new trade on before we get to the 11 o'clock, which is pretty much right here, right now. Do not forget, we're going to go midday and we're going to get our learn on. I have a topic which might not be what they're covering. When I come on at noon, I want to talk about something related to risk management, and I got the idea from the debacle that was the SEC Twitter account last night. It has more to do with just why that happened, and not specifically the mechanics of that move in Bitcoin, but it is more about risk management and what you can do to protect yourself and how you should try to think. So that'll be at 12 o'clock. In just about a minute or so, we're going on over to Obi, who's doing a fantastic job filling in, and Adara. But new positions, I think I'm probably backing off anything new unless it is getting back into, I want weakness on a firm to get me back into that short. I still like it. I know Sean's in it. I still like the area, but I just want to see lower highs. If I can see a lower high, I jump back into that trade. Everything else, we're just going to let it run. Uber, the one long working out as we're about to get to 16.9, which is another big level.
Oh, man. I'm getting set up here because I'm pretty sure NVIDIA will take this out, this 550. So
it looks like it.
I'm trying to wait to go short on NVIDIA. So let's see if it gets up to that 550 area and then put in our stop. Like if it breaks 550, man, we have to pretty much get out ASAP if that happens. NVIDIA right now ripping to brand new highs, all-time highs right now. NVIDIA just killing it again. We talked about buying dips on this name. Unfortunately, we were on Coinbase. We were on other names there, stupid, waiting for Rivian to do something, which Rivian we're still in from that same break. But anyways, yeah, let's just wait to see. I wrote down 550 fade, so we'll try that. We'll get short around 549. I don't even want to give this one too much room past that 550 because we saw what happened when it broke 501. Or 500. It just blasted the rest of the way up. So we'll see if that happens again. Wouldn't be surprised if it does. It's 11 o'clock. Thank you so much for enjoying the show. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. You're going over to Adara and Obi for a little midday educational segment. I hope you learned a lot here. You're going to learn a lot there as well. Let's go. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls.
Hey, guys.
Hello.